why.
Indianapolis Raceway Park. Well, it's been in the planning and talking stages for many years. Some skeptics said it would never happen, but it is going to happen here tonight, and we have it live for you. 10 drivers, all over the age of 50, some of whom have been retired for many years, will be competing in the Fastmasters Championship Series. Now, there will be 5 Saturday nights during this summer that 10 different drivers will be competing against each other, earning points. The 2 top point getters in those 5 Saturday nights will go into the finals on August the 21st. Now, here's a look at tonight's lineup of drivers. 2-time 12 Hours of Sebring winner Bob Aiken. Making his comeback exactly 5 years after his crash at Pocono, former Winston Cup champion Bobby Allison. 21-time Indy 500 starter Gary Bettenhausen. The first driver ever to turn an official lap over 200 miles an hour in an Indy car, Jerry Grant. 3-time IMSA GTU class winner at the 24 Hours of Daytona, Dick Greer. One of the most popular stock car drivers ever, the Golden Boy, Fred Lorenzen. The man who won the NHRA U.S. Nationals in 3 different decades, and he's still active today, Ed the Ace McCulloch. The winner of the inaugural Ontario 500 IndyCar race in 1970, Jim McElreath. The winner of the 1952 Indy 500, Troy Ruttman. And the 1989 NASCAR Winston Cup Rookie of the Year, and a driver who's won more than 1,000 feature events in his career, Dick Trickle. Now, we have one change already. Gary Bettenhausen, well, he sort of had an incident yesterday during testing, and he could not get the car repaired in time, and so Gary Bettenhausen will not be competing here tonight. However, he will be the crew chief for Troy Ruttman. Now, a bit about the format. There will be 3 races here tonight featuring the Fastmasters. A 10-lapper utilizing the 5/8 mile oval. Another 10-lap race utilizing a modified road course, which has been built down in turns number 1 and 2. And the feature, a 12-lap race, will utilize both 6 laps on the oval and 6 laps on the modified road course. Now, joining me is former NASCAR driver Fred Lorenzen and the host of Saturday Night Thunder, Dave Despain. Fred, it's good to see you, and it's especially good to see you in a driver's uniform. Are you ready for this tonight?
I'll tell you after the race, Dave. We tried the cars out yesterday, Bob, and the cars are really something. The Jaguars XJ20. Unbelievable car. Really handles them in the corner, and just gotten get used to it. I've been away with them 20 years.
Fred, I'm dying to know the answer to this question because we've all watched you out there practicing, you with the other guys. You retired at the peak of your game and haven't been back in a race car with one exception since. How hard is everybody going to race these $750,000 a copy cars out there tonight?
Dave, it's hard to say. I don't know. I'm going to run it as hard as I think I can run it and keep it under control. It's got real wide tires. It's low to the ground. I also drive the same kind of car at home, a Jag, and they really handle good. And this one's handling good. It's just hard. Everybody's just going to adjust themselves. It's a short race, 10 laps. You run as fast as you think you can handle it.
Are you excited about it?
Oh, yeah, it runs good, it handles good, and I love the car.
Now, Fred, you were in a stock car for many, many races when you were regular on the stock car circuit, and I'm sure toward the end of the career got to be old hand. You didn't have the butterflies as you did at the first of your career. Do you have them tonight?
Nah, not really. I wish it was all over with, and I hope I can win the race. I mean, I'm starting right up front. And all you got to do is stay out of trouble, and I'm going to just try to get away and get out of there because everybody's going to be touching it. Even though the cars are $700,000 machines, everybody's trying to win it. If I can just get away, I'm going to be gone. I mean, the cars handle good. They are really some car. Unbelievable machine.
Who do you think is going to be the toughest competitor tonight in your group?
I thought it was going to be Bettenhausen, but Bettenhausen didn't make it. I think they're going to all be tough because they're all running strong. I couldn't pick. I wouldn't pick one person out.
Well, obviously, it's going to be a terrific battle tonight. We're all looking forward to it. Bob, you got a whole lot more going on here besides Fastmasters tonight. Let's talk about midgets.
Yeah, let's talk about the midgets that will be a part of the racing here tonight, just as we have in the other Saturday Night Thunder events. Now, the NASCAR Winston Cup Series is at Michigan International Speedway this weekend for the Miller Genuine Draft 400. Here's a look at how they qualified for that event. Now, Brett Bodine will be the pole sitter of the race. Starting second will be Ricky Rudd. Third is Davey Allison. Fourth is Ken Schrader. And starting fifth will be Ernie Irvin. Well, almost as important as the drivers in the Fastmasters Championship is the car that they will be competing in, the world's fastest production car, the Jaguar XJ220. It's expensive, fast, and gorgeous. The XJ220 is a 2-seater, mid-engine, rear-drive specialty sports coupe. It's powered by a 3.5-liter V6 24-valve twin-turbo fuel-injected engine, producing 542 horsepower and 475 foot-pounds of torque. All of that should take you from 0 to 60 in about 4 seconds and give you a top speed of about 220. It's considerably longer and wider than a Chevrolet Corvette, and it also costs more. You need deep pockets or a rich relative to buy this one. Going price, $750,000.
Speed Week is brought to you by Quaker State. The Big Q is one tough motor oil. And by Budweiser, the king of beers, who reminds you friends know when to say when.
Coming up, Jerry Grant Wireless, a behind-the-scenes look at the Fastmaster experience.
Everybody that I've talked to thinks they're going to win.
And highlights from all the week's racing action.
Burt Reynolds for Quaker State.
The Big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will. You know, when it comes to protecting against friction, nothing beats Quaker State. When it comes to protecting against viscosity breakdown, nothing beats Quaker State. When it comes to keeping engines clean, nothing beats Quaker State. Take it from me, for unbeatable protection, nothing beats Quaker State. It's one tough motor oil.
We're going to have to bail.
What about the Bud Light?
No time. There's only one left. You take it.
I'll never forget you.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Not so fast. Yes.
When it's this hot, don't take chances. Only Armor All Protectant guarantees your new car's dash from cracking. There is a fountain of youth, and we guarantee it. Armor All.
Ow! Oh, Rex, go get me the vice grip pliers. Rex!
Get lost!
Rex!
Rex!
Thanks, Rex.
Vice grip locking pliers, the handyman's best friend.
In 1972, Jerry Grant was in his 6th Indianapolis 500. Driving the Dan Gurney-prepared Mystery Eagle, he found himself leading with less than 20 laps to go. But then on lap 189, he pitted for tires and refueled from teammate Bobby Unser's tank. USAC penalized Grant by not scoring him the rest of the race. Although he was second under the checkered flag to Mark Donohue, Jerry was awarded 12th place. Welcome back to Speed Week live at Indianapolis Raceway Park. I'm Bob Jenkins. Most of the competitors in the Fastmasters Championship arrive here in Indianapolis on Thursday. Now, we have been with Jerry Grant for the past few days as he made new acquaintances and renewed some old ones here in Indianapolis.
Freddie, would you ever thought we'd be racing again at, 58 years old?
Well, I got to see this car.
That car is so beautiful that it's a shame to run it.
I'd rather, maybe Milwaukee. We should take him up to Milwaukee.
Freddie, you were my hero on that stock car circuit. I'll tell you, there we go. We are one of the masters, right?
I can't wait to see the car tomorrow.
If these Jags handle like they look, we're going to be in paradise. Freddie, here you are. You're king of the hill.
Hope that isn't 7 weeks.
You got to have a big satchel to carry all the money that you're going to make home.
So 58, that's all. You're a baby.
You can't kiss the girls before the race starts, though.
Then I'm not going to go.
Come on. This guy not only was fast on the track, but he was fast off the track. Hey, we have one of my heroes, the straight line king.
How do you do, Ranson? Freddie, nice to meet you.
We got no chance down the straightaway. None whatsoever. Excuse me, were you out practicing in a modified car at the track yesterday? Hey, hear this. We have a problem here.
Was he really?
Practicing at the track in a race car? Where's the rule book? Well, there's a couple more gentlemen that think they're going to win. Gary Bentonhauser and Jimmy McElreath. Gurney said that he was the best driver that he had ever seen in his life, bar none. I mean, there's nobody in this group that I don't admire. I mean, you know, you look at the people, and everyone has done well in their chosen sport. Well, let me tell you, this is an experience of a lifetime, and it's like returning to 15 years ago. I forgot about the pressures that are involved. I look at those cars, and they're fast and beautiful, and the people that I'm going to go out and compete with. It's a wonderful, strange world. I love the sport. I've been on the outside looking in for 10 years, and now I have the opportunity to go out there and compete. The Fastmaster's concept, to me, is about the best thing since, I don't want to say since sex, but it's fantastic, and I'm looking forward to it. Let's go take a look at these beauties. I wonder if the world is ready for this. Fastmasters, here I come. Once I'm in here, I feel like I'm at home, but before I go out on the track, I'm sure I'm going to get an adrenaline rush, and memories are going to come back of how many times that over 20 years of racing that I sat on the starting grid. Well, I'm going to be nervous, no matter what I say, but once the flag drops, then it's like the frosting on the cake, and I'm into my realm. Oh. You've got no right to spin at this stage of the game. I mean, that's what we call brain fade.
Yeah. The harder you run it, the more it pushes, the more you got to keep burping the throttle, you know, and you can't get the thing to turn. And just I ran it in deeper and kept running in deeper and deeper to find the limit, and I found it. I tell you, I wouldn't want to go 100 laps in these honeys. They'd pull me out and have a stretcher ready. Yeah. It makes a difference to me if I see Maple wreath on the back of the car. I know what I'm in for, and et cetera. I think a lot of it is in racing, it's like baseball. A good pitcher knows that the batter is a sucker for a curveball or a high ball or a fastball or whatever. And you know you've competed with these people in various arenas, and you know what their strengths or weaknesses are, and there's a few of them that have no weaknesses. See, that's the trouble. You run with all these guys that are used to winning and leading. I mean, there's nobody here that isn't used to that. It's great. Yeah. Hey, honey, this was fun. Maybe I retired 20 years too early.
I was afraid of that. You know, I thought you got all this stuff out of your system by now.
Hard to be humble when you're as great as I am. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Jerry Grant, as he came to Indianapolis on Thursday and talked with some of the competitors that he'll be racing against tonight here in the Fastmasters Championship. Now, we have qualifying that has already been completed for the midgets. They, of course, are also a part of this Saturday Night Thunder event here tonight. But the biggie is the Fastmasters Championship. And with Jerry Grant live now is the newest member of the announce team here at Saturday Night Thunder. And we switch now live to Dave Wilson. Dave?
Thanks a lot, Bob Jacobs. We are here with Jerry Grant. Here it is, Jerry. Saturday night now. You're here. How are you feeling?
Fantastic. What an opportunity. I mean, this is, I think I died and went to heaven.
Are you excited about running these cars now? You've driven a lot of different types of automobiles, and now here you are running the Jaguar. Have you driven any other car in the past that's given you a little hint as to how these cars will handle?
Well, Dan Gurney and I spent a lot of time in the GT40s winning the World Manufacturing Championship, and they were about a 220-mile-an-hour car, very similar to these Jags. So I would say that was close. But this has got to be the best-looking car in the world, and what an opportunity to race with all these champions from the past and the present from every division. NASCAR, kart, Indianapolis, drag racing. I mean, my idols, they're all lined up here.
Who's going to win?
Yes, that's true.
Yes, sir. We're going to go back to Bob Jacobs, Jerry Grant, with an interview. He's excited.
Thanks very much, Dave, and good luck tonight, Jerry. Well, this past week, the auto racing community lost a former world champion. James Hunt, Britain's last Formula One champion before Nigel Mansell died of a heart attack at his home near London. He recorded 10 victories during his career, including 6 in 1976 when he won the world title by a point over Niki Lauda. James Hunt was 45.
Looking for the best selection of wine in Connecticut? Then come to P&M Liquors in Glastonbury. In business for 43 years, P&M Liquors has a vast inventory of library wines, both California and Bordeaux, hard-to-find boutique wines, and older vintage collectibles. Can't choose? Then let our knowledgeable staff help you with your selection. We have at least 200 bottles of chilled wine and champagne on hand at all times. P&M Liquors, we're the best-kept wine secret in the state.
June is engagement ring time. Gem Jewelry's Diamond Super Sale is going on now. Save 30, 40, even 50% on all of our fine quality diamonds, every size and shape. Save on our selection of engagement rings, remounts, channel bands, and more. Stop by and visit us today. Gem Jewelry, 148 Talcottville Road in Vernon and 1157 New Britain Avenue in West Hartford.
Ready to make some noise. The lightning speed of Saturday Night Thunder will make you dizzy. Live USAC Midgets and Sprints tonight on ESPN.
Speed Week's travel arranged through Continental. One airline can make a difference. Business first, the comfort and service of international first class at a business class fare. That's the difference on Continental.
Welcome back to Speed Week. The Indy cars were in Detroit last Sunday for a race filled with controversy. It began at the green flag when Emerson Fittipaldi got a jump on pole sitter Nigel Mansell. IndyCar officials gave Emerson the black flag, resulting in a stop-and-go penalty. The day got progressively worse for the current Indy 500 champion as he crashed hard into this tire barrier. Emo was unhurt. The most furious battle was between former Formula One drivers Nigel Mansell and Stefan Johansson. Johansson got past Mansell, but in the next turn they made contact, forcing Stefan into Teo Fabi's wrecked car and a course worker. All drivers and the worker were okay. That left teammates Danny Sullivan and Al Unser Jr. to duke it out for the lead. It was obviously every driver for himself as Sullivan blocked Little Al, causing him to run over 3 cones. The result was a stop-and-go penalty, much to the dismay of owner Rick Gallis. Mansell was another victim of the tight course when he lost control and tagged a concrete barrier. With only 2 laps to go, Sullivan was trying to hold off A.J. Foyt protege Robbie Gordon. But as you can see from Bobby Rahall's nose cam, Gordon cut a tire and spun, unable to finish. Sullivan recorded his first victory since Long Beach last year and became the 5th different winner in 6 races. Raul Boesel was runner-up for the 2nd week in a row, while Formula One test driver Andrea Motormini pulled off an amazing 4th-place finish in only his 2nd IndyCar race.
And so the penalties continue in IndyCar racing, just like they did at Indianapolis. And joining me is another Fastmaster in tonight's championship, a guy that's certainly no stranger to straight-line racing, Ed the Ace McCulloch. But, Ed, what I want to know is, how much experience do you have on ovals and that road course they're going to be using down there?
Well, Bob, you know, prior to yesterday, how about none? But, you know, the cars feel real well. I'm having a great time. It's awesome just to be here.
Have you gone to a driver's school or done any practicing whatsoever in a car similar to the one you're going to be driving?
Well, probably not similar. I have gone out to Bob Bondurant's. I've had spent a couple of days out there. I did a deal a couple of years ago at Buck Baker's School in Rockingham, North Carolina. But other than that, this is it.
Pretty awesome car, isn't it?
Oh, it's a great car. Jaguar's done a super job putting this whole thing together, and it's just an honor to be here.
Now, you've been able to assess the competition. Who do you think is going to be tough tonight?
Well, I've said all along here, I mean, I don't care how old I am or how old the rest of these guys are, the competitiveness is still there, and these guys are all tough. But Bob Aiken, he looks real good out there, especially in the road course. You know, Bobby Allison's come back, and you know, Fred Lorenzen, and I mean, just all of the guys, they're all good. It's going to be a great race.
Let's talk about drag racing very quickly. Last week in Columbus, the 3 winners, by the way, were Warren Johnson, Doug Herbert, and Gordy Bonin. How did Ed the Ace McCulloch do?
Well, we've been struggling a little bit. Both Cruz's car, my car for the McDonald's race team, but Cruz is on a comeback. He ran a little bit better. We're going to test a little bit this week before we go to Topeka, but I will turn it around and we'll be there.
Good luck in the drag racing, and especially tonight in Fastmaster.
Thank you, Bob. We appreciate it.
Ed the Ace McCulloch. Well, last week, we told you about the rivalry between Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost. Well, it continued last week at the Grand Prix of Canada. Here's that story and other highlights from last weekend. The event was also supposed to be a homecoming of sorts for American Michael Andretti, but hydraulic problems forced him to miss the opening laps. He eventually joined the race and finished 14th. Senna, who started from the 8th position, was involved in a terrific battle with John Alesi on the opening lap. The Brazilian got this spot and eventually moved up to second behind Prost. But with 8 laps to go, Senna's McLaren lost power during a tight battle with Michael Schumacher, knocking Senna out of the race. Meanwhile, Prost coasted to his 48th career victory and with Senna's DNF, regained the points lead. Also at Montreal, the Toyota Atlantics. Pole sitter Claude Bourbonnet's car stalled at the start and was hit from behind by Kenny Wilden. Neither driver was injured. The battle up front was between Canadians Jacques Villeneuve and David Impringham. Villeneuve held off Impringham for his second victory of the season, bringing back memories of his father's Canadian Grand Prix victory in 1978. IMSA was at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course over the weekend, where Toyota's Juan Fangio recorded his 5th victory in a row in GTP competition. P.J. Jones, his teammate, finished second. It was Toyota's 7th 1-2 finish of the year, tying them with Nissan. In the Exxon Supreme GTS division, Darren Brassfield got his Rocket Sports Oldsmobile past Tommy Kendall's Roush Ford for the lead, but not without making contact. Brassfield took the win with teammate Paul Gentilozzi second, but the two were disqualified not because of the incident, but because of a technical infraction. Kendall was awarded the victory for his second win of the season, but first solo win since coming back from his 1991 accident at Watkins Glen. The SCCA Trans Am Tour supported the Indy cars on Belle Isle. A track-blocking crash at the start brought out an immediate red flag, but there were no injuries, and in fact, everyone was able to continue. On the 35th of 48 laps, Dorsey Schrader in number 12 passed Bobby Archer and recorded his first win of the year and Ford's 3rd straight.
In America, your car doesn't just get you from here to there. It's a part of your life. To give your car complete protection, Texaco has developed Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. With not one, but 3 kinds of protection against heat stress, starting friction, and engine dirt. Haviland Formula 3. Add more life to your car.
3 reasons not to buy BF Goodrich TA tires. Being the center of attention makes you uncomfortable. You think a Little Deuce Coupe is a place where tiny chickens are kept. You think Lug Nuts is a high-fiber cereal. BF Goodrich TA tires when you're ready to get serious.
Bloomington, Indiana was the site of last night's inaugural Larry Rice Classic. Chris Malone started from the pole position for the 30-lap USAC midget feature. On lap 2, Jack Runyon rode over Malone's right rear wheel and barrel rolled off the track, with Kenny Irwin sliding off behind him. Irwin was able to continue and assume the series points lead when Stevie Reeves retired from the action. Tony Elliott in the Potter V6 held off the challenge of Randy Cook and captured his first midget win of the season. And in victory lane, there was no kiss from a pretty trophy girl, just a handshake from an old race driver.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Speed Week. I'm Gary Lee with the old race driver, my buddy Larry Rice. Quite a tribute to have a race named after you.
And I'm not even dead yet.
Yeah, that was a classic, not a memorial. It is the debut of the Fastmaster tonight, but also we have the USAC midgets. What might we anticipate?
Well, Kenny Irwin took over the point lead last night with quick time there at Bloomington. He's going to be very tough. But the 2 names that come to mind in 1993 here at Raceway Park are Mike Bliss and Kenneth Nichols. They both won races. They're both going to be hard to beat.
I'll tell you what, Danny Dwayne set a new track record. That was a surprise.
Yeah, it will be, and he's going to be tough too, but I still think Bliss and Nichols are going to be the tough guys.
All right, and Bob Jenkins will be back with more of Speed Week live from Indianapolis Raceway Park, preceding our Saturday Thunder.
Almost there, Bo.
Almost?
And it's all yours.
You think you can do it?
Lipton Original. You can't wait to guzzle, gulp it, chug it.
It ain't hip to sip.
Lipton Original. This ain't no sipping tea.
Which clamp is faster?
An old-fashioned screw-type clamp.
Or the revolutionary quick grip bar clamp?
Let's watch closely.
Here they go!
And it's over! Amazing!
Oh.
Now for the instant replay.
Hey, look at that! One finger on the quick-release trigger and the bar slides right into position.
And there, he's tightening the clamp by merely squeezing the quick grip handle. And it's done! You know, unlocking the clamp again was a very nice touch.
The quick grip bar clamp, available wherever quality tools are sold.
When it's this hot, don't take chances. Only Armor All Protectant guarantees your new car's dash from cracking. There is a fountain of youth, and we guarantee it. Armor All.
The Prince tries to regain the title of King of the Ring. Former world champion Prince Charles Williams takes on Art Bayless. Top Right Boxing, tomorrow afternoon live on ESPN.
We are live at Indianapolis Raceway Park for Speed Week, now just minutes away from Saturday Night Thunder, the Midgets, and the Fastmasters Championship. And the man responsible for preparing these beautiful Jaguar XJ220s is Tom Walkinshaw. At his shops in Valparaiso, Indiana, the cars are being prepared, and we hope not, but maybe repaired. Tom, welcome to Indianapolis, first of all. Why did Jaguar want to get involved in a series like Fastmasters?
Well, we thought it was a good idea. The demographics of the Jaguar buying public are very closely identified with the concept of the series. And we also thought it was a good idea to have racing aces from the past have an opportunity to come before the fans again.
I don't think I have to tell you again what you've probably heard thousands of times here tonight. These are beautiful cars.
Well, obviously we're very proud of them, and you know, Jaguar has a great history of making very beautiful motor cars, and I think this continues the history.
You have results, or at least the standings at this point, of Le Mans. 3 of the XJ220s, by the way, are in that race. How are they doing, and how's the race going overall?
The race is going very well for us at the moment. We're running first and second in the class, and we had problems with our third car, and it's dropped out, but the other 2 cars are running strong, 1 and 2.
And I guess Peugeot is leading the overall Le Mans 24 hours right now?
Yes, there's still a fight between the Peugeot and the Toyota.
Your people up in Valparaiso, Indiana, have spent many, many hours these past few weeks getting these cars together. How much of a job has it been?
It's an incredibly difficult task to prepare 10 cars identically, and we went to great lengths to make sure all the cars are the same. I have to say all the mechanics are really excited about working with the drivers here, because, you know, many of these guys we have as mechanics are young fellows, and, you know, when they started leaving college watching racing, these were the guys who were actually at the top of motorsports, so they're really excited to be working with them.
Well, Walkinshaw Motorsports has been involved in many different types of racing. I know there are a lot of people here in Indianapolis who are wondering, is Walkinshaw Racing going to get involved in Indy cars anytime soon?
I would very much like to compete at Indy. I think it's a fantastic race. I think it's very difficult. It's often underestimated, I think, by some of the Formula One people, how difficult it is. But I've been and watched it once or twice. I would like to have a go, and maybe next year we'll run a team.
Tom, thanks for joining us, and thank you very much for these beautiful XJ220s.
My pleasure.
Tom Walkinshaw. Well, that's going to do it for another edition of Speed Week. Now, we'll be on again next Saturday night at 7:30 Eastern Time, and we'll again be right back here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. And so it's time for me now to become a spectator and let all the work be done by Larry Rice, Gary Lee, and Dave Despain. Dave, have a good show.
Thank you very much, Bob, and what a pleasure it is to go to work on this very, very special night at Indianapolis Raceway Park. All the time we have these guys counting down in our ears, 10, 9, 8, 7, and so on. This time it's my turn, because a big night deserves a very big open. So guys, in the tape, roll truck. Work, 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 work. Work, 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 work.
Hey, playtime.
weather the ravages of time, survive the occasional hard knock, these special ones have taken flight, lived their dreams. And for each of the special few, thousands more aspire, chase the records of their heroes, live for the chance of a lifetime to race the dream race, drive the dream car, take the green flag in the Fastmasters Championship. Welcome to a familiar summertime scene. Thousands of thunderheads gathering at Indianapolis Raceway Park. This is a not-so-familiar part of that scene. The Fastmasters Championship Round 1 begins here this evening, ladies and gentlemen, and it is special indeed. We're glad you're here to be part of motorsports history. Mark the date down, June the 19th, 1993. It is significant to us at Saturday Night Thunder, certainly to this racetrack. We'd like to think it is significant to all of motorsports, because tonight, for the first time, we have the opportunity to gather our heroes over the age of 50, put them in very, very special automobiles, and have our very own seniors tournament of auto racing. They're going to compete for the opportunity to move into our final. It is a series, 5 nights of eliminations, and then the top 10 racing for a $100,000 top prize. It's going to be a very exciting summer. Here is part of the reason that it is special and exciting. $7 million worth of race cars. The Jaguar XJ220, the flagship of one of the world's most famous automakers. At 213 miles per hour, the fastest production car on the planet. Now, who's going to drive those cars? Well, that's what really makes this night special. An incredible starting lineup that includes the return of Bobby Allison to the cockpit as a race car driver. Gary Bettenhausen coming back to competition here tonight. Jerry Grant at 58, the IndyCar veteran.
Three-time IMSA GTU.
You'll see Dick Greer out of the IMSA GTU competition here this evening. And Freddie Lorenzen, the golden boy himself, who walked away at the peak of his career. Ed McCullough, the big question, can he turn left? We'll find out tonight as the drag race star joins the Fastmasters field. 65-year-old Jimmy McElree. 15 Indy 500 starts under his belt, and Troy Ruttman, the youngest driver ever to win the 500. Dick Trickle. Dick Trickle is a very big question mark right now for all of us, because Dick is in the air. Now, Dick, as you know, is still an active Winston Cup stock car racer. He competed today up at Michigan International Speedway. He and Davey Allison, who very much wants to see his father's return to competition, are somewhere between hither and thither, and we certainly hope that they're going to arrive in time for what should be a monumental evening. Now, we've talked so much about Fastmasters, but that is not the whole story. You know that Saturday Night Thunder cut its teeth on sprints and midgets, and we've got the whole USAC show for you here tonight. The guys who will call that action, such a pleasure to be back in their company. Gary Lee calling the play-by-play, the 3-time USAC champion Larry Rice. They are, of course, our own Gary and Larry show.
Thanks, Dave. Hi, everybody. Larry Rice, recall the first time your dad took you to a race. That's the anticipation, the excitement I feel this evening.
Well, you can see it on the drivers' faces. You can see it in their eyes. You can see it in their families. You can see it in everybody that's here tonight, including me. I'm really excited, not only to see Fastmasters, but be back here at IRP for the midgets, too.
Well, of course, we have an expanded format this evening. 3 hours of live television, motorsport style from Indianapolis Raceway Park. Now, here is the format. The Fastmasters heat number 1. Then, that will be on the 10-lap oval. The 4 USAC midget heats. Then Fastmasters heat number 2, 10 laps on a modified road course. And then the USAC midget semi-feature. Then the Fastmasters heat number 3, 6 laps on the oval, 6 laps on the modified road course, and then the USAC 30-lap feature. Now, heat race number 1, the grid positions were determined by a blind draw yesterday. 10 laps once again on the oval. Heat race number 2, the grid will be inverted from the finish of heat race number 1. And then that will be heat race number 2, 10 laps on the modified road course. But the first lap will be on the oval. It will be unscored. Okay, you with us? Now, on heat race number 3, interesting, grid by total points. These drivers will be given points, 10 points for winning, 9 points for second. The driver with the most points will start up in front for heat race number 3. The first 6 laps will be on the oval, and then they will go 6 laps on the road course. Oh, Larry, this should be interesting. Now, I tell you what, these guys were impressive in practice yesterday.
They were very impressive. How do you pick them? How do you pick anybody like this? You got total points for all these guys, but it's really tough when you got guys like Grant and Akins and McElreath, all of them tough. I mean, besides Allison, but I'm going to tell you, McCulloch really impressed me yesterday.
I tell you what, you've had a silly grin on your face all weekend, but you've got a few years to wait to drive one of these. And you know, Dave, the two of us will never get a chance.
Well, it's sad but true, but I can't wait to see Rice. I believe he's a member of the class of 1996. So I can envision some midget fan at this moment sitting in his living room in Anywhere USA thinking to himself, well, gee, my buddies have gone uptown, upscale, haven't they? $700,000 race cars, and not much do I hear about the midgets and sprints, about the guys who got the Saturday Night Thunder affair on the air. I hear the anthem in the background as we prepare for this evening's opening of competition. And, of course, in that evening of competition, you'll be seeing both the sprints and the midgets. I want you folks to know at home that we will go directly now to the national anthem. Here's Kelly Cox.
Rollers fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That is the #1 song on the Racing Hit Parade right there, because that means it's just about time to crank them up and get them rolling. Well, as I was saying, and let me just make the point once again that the disruption of the schedule here that has thrown things a bit into a topsy-turvy state is a result of Dick Trickle being in an airplane en route here at this moment. By now, we should be in the midst of our elaborate introduction of the Fastmasters champions. Well, that's going to come your way as soon as Dick arrives. So it's a bit of a tumble here this evening. The racetrack is doing a great job in accommodating, and we're going to talk in a moment about what they're doing to accommodate the situation. But let me finish my point about you folks at home, you midget fans and sprint fans who say, hey, I'm fascinated by all this. A bunch of these guys used to be sprint and midget drivers, but you're not going to get all caught up in expensive cars and forget me, are you? The answer is no way. No, indeed, folks, we will never forget the guys with the big hearts and a whole lot of horsepower, the brave souls with the will to win. Every Fastmaster great was once a local hero who lived for Saturday night. That was John Oates. I wonder if he's going to do that every week. ESPN and Bobby Allison, welcome back. We're going to talk to him when we come back here to Indianapolis Raceway Park. It is an historic evening for a great many reasons, none more important than the return of this man to the cockpit. We'll be back.
The 93 Jaguar XJ6 at $549 a month. It's a dream come true. See your local Jaguar dealer for details. This offer is for a limited time only.
Burt Reynolds talks with the Quaker State team.
Hold on. I got to get my name on the car. My fans are getting restless. No room. How about on the Big Q?
The Big Q stands alone. Stands for quality.
You can't get better protection.
No other oil beats Quaker State.
How about right here?
No way. Ray doesn't like to be crowded.
My fans are getting demanding.
All right, we'll go get the painter.
I must have had a hard time finding the painter. Nothing beats Quaker State. It's one tough motor oil.
It's the lifeblood of your engine. That makes your oil filter your engine's most vital organ. That's why Fram keeps going the extra mile to make the best protection even better. The Fram Extra Guard oil filter. Unique glass fiber paper stops more dirt than any other filter for the best protection ever. Fram Extra Guard. American or import, it's an extra lease on life.
Saturday Night Thunder is brought to you by Jaguar, the spirit of competition and the technology to produce the world's fastest production car. By Quaker State, the Big Q is one tough motor oil. And by Budweiser, the king of beers, who reminds you friends know when to say when. June 19th, 1993, a special night at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Ironically, June 19th, 1988 is a day that many of us remember very sadly, the day when Bobby Allison crashed at Pocono, Pennsylvania, ending a tremendous 3.5-decade career as one of the all-time greats of stock car racing. About that time, shortly thereafter, while Bobby was recuperating, this button became very popular on the stock car scene, and it said, "Hurry back, Bobby." I saved mine, hoping for the day when we could change that to read, "Welcome back, Bobby." And that day is today. Ironically, 5 years to the date since the crash at Pocono. We say welcome back, Bobby Allison.
Well, thank you, Dave. It's really, really super to be here.
Through 5 years, your whole career, 3.5 decades, not 3.5 years, 3.5 decades, this time of every day, every race day, you were always getting the same question. For 5 years, nobody's had a chance to ask you, and you haven't had a chance to answer it. We've seen all the hoopla, Sports Illustrated's here, all the fuss, all the hubbub. Forget that. I want to know how you're running today.
Well, really, I'm pretty pleased with it. The Jaguar really drove good and responded pretty nicely and felt good to me, and I hope it's running good enough.
You're shooting for a win, I know, but it's got to be just so satisfying to be back in the cockpit. Your emotions right now.
Really, it's such a tremendous thrill, and you know, I think of all the people that have contributed so much to help me get back to here. You know, of course, starting with Judy. You know, she's by my side. She never left Pennsylvania until they flew me home on that ambulance airplane. And then she stayed by my side at Lakeshore Hospital there at home. But a lot of people, I mean, all over the country, I got such really tremendous mail, nice mail, and gratifying mail that helped me feel good and contributed toward my desire to get back going.
Now, obviously, you've sized up all your competition. I don't know if you had your hopes up that maybe Trickle's airplane wouldn't get here. Trickle is on the ground and headed for the racetrack, so you're going to have to race him tonight. Who do you like besides Dick Trickle?
Well, really, all of these guys in this first round, you know, I've got to admire them. You know, I knew Ace McCullough through the drag racing thing before, you know, and through our Miller connection. But I accused him a while ago. He must have been using that return route pretty hard with his drag car, because he looked good out here too. And you know, all of the guys, Lorenzen, Jerry Grant, Jim McElroy, Bob Aiken, Jim Green, just you know, and I hate to leave any one of them out, because every one of them is really, you know, they're enjoying it like I am. Troy Ruttman, you know, he's been away from it for so long, but enjoying it, and really it's been a pleasure to be around. And, you know, we can't all win, but I sure wish we could.
You're still the headliner in our hearts, my friend, simply by being here tonight. Welcome back. Hurry back becomes welcome back.
Thank you.
For Bobby Allison. The midgets are on the racetrack. Yeah, we're going to wait for Trickle, but we've got a full slate of USAC competition tonight, including 4 heat races. Let's get topside to Gary and Larry and tell us who's in it, boys.
A smorgasbord of motorsports from Indianapolis Raceway Park. Heat race number 1, Norm Young and Mel Kenyon up front. In the second row, Perry Younts and Steve Bart. In row 3 on the inside. We'll have Tice Carlson at 41, Randy Tolman outside at 61. In the 4th row, Dan Dryden, your fast qualifier with a new track record, and Brian Sievers in 23S. Well, once again, we talk about that new track record. Danny Dryden set a track record that was, broke a track record set here 3 years ago.
3 years ago, and this is on harder tires. They have a new rule. You have to run the race on the tires you qualify on, so it's a great job. But they did put some VHT on the racetrack this week.
Little stickier than normal as Young brings them down for the start. The first of 4 USAC midget heat races. The top 4 will transfer to the 30-lap main event. Younts takes him down the backstretch as they start to single file out there. And Mel Kenyon on the inside, looked to the inside, but then dropped back behind Young.
Nice move by Younts to get out on the inside right there. Kenyon tried to follow it, but just couldn't pull it off. And you see that's Tice Carlson clear on the bottom, smoking his tire.
Well, Younts is out in front with a nice gap now as they go over the camera in the first turn. Coming and going. I like that shot.
That's neat, isn't it? Right. We duck every time we look at it.
Well, there's the shot, the gap between first and second. And look at Dryden make a move in that white 33 all the way down almost to the infield grass.
Well, Tice started to pull down. He saw Dryden just as he did, and Dryden had to make an evasive action. He got way down on the inside. That race car is fast. And here's Kenyon. He's going to the inside. Is he going to get around him? I think he is. Oh, he got sideways. But he's still going to get up there.
These 2 guys battle every Friday at the Indianapolis Speedrome. Norm Young was victorious last night in the USAC midget race. And there goes Tice Carlson. Finally got by Young. He moves to 4th.
You see Young, when he got sideways there, it cost him 3 spots just by losing the momentum on the racetrack.
Remember, only the top 4 will transfer. The others will have to go through the semi to advance to the 30-lap main event. Look at Younts, a half straightaway advantage over Kenyon. Kenyon now rides in 2nd position. He's being challenged, though, by car number 61. Randy Talsman now takes 2nd. Oh, he didn't make it.
Talsman's, he's doing a heck of a job. I don't think he's ever seen this place before. He's from Idaho, came back here to try his hand. And boy, he looks like he's catching on real quick.
Yeah, but look at this. They're 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th right together. Talsman not working all that well. He's really working on that steering wheel. And here comes Dryden. The 3rd car back to white 33.
Dryden went down on the inside and just slid up in front of Carlson and took the racetrack away. Looks like he's working pretty good, way on the bottom of the racetrack.
And that's not the place, that's not the fast way around this.
Well, there's no banking down there. It's 10-degree banking up at the top of the racetrack. There's only about 4 or 5 degrees way down there where he was running. At 61 is Talsman. That's Kenyon in a 3 car.
Kenyon got very close to outside concrete wall, and look at Dryden taking 2 spots in 1 turn.
Man, oh man, he went in there and he got her sideways right in front of everybody. I think they got out of the gas to get their heart started again.
Well, we see classic slide jobs on dirt. He's perfecting this slide job on pavement, and sometimes the guys have to get out of the throttle to give him room to make it work.
Well, that's exactly what he wanted to do. He wanted to go down under him, pull up in front of him, and take the racetrack away. He wanted to take the groove away from him. He just went a little too hard and got a little bit sideways, and I think scared himself and them both a little bit.
Well, there is the white flag. 1 lap to go. You see Tice Carlson smoking that right rear through the corner. There's a look at 2nd and 3rd. Talsman rides in 3rd. 4th is Kenyon. And 5th there, once again, burning off the right rear is Carlson.
I think that's the right front he's burning off, Gary. I think he's pushing so badly in the middle of the corner that it's the right front that's just going away on him. He can't get that thing to come off the corners.
There is a checkered flag for car number 51. Perry Younts takes the victory. But the guy that put on the show that time at the back of the pack was Dan Dryden.
He sure did. He was way down on the bottom of the racetrack, sliding up in front of guys, but he had that race car under control. He's had a little trouble. That's a brand new race car. He's had a little trouble getting everything all figured out and keeping it so it wasn't real twitchy. But it looks like he's getting real close with the handling on that race car right now.
And Danny Dryden had maybe 2 more laps. It may have been a challenge for the front spot.
Well, you got to give Perry Younts a lot of credit. He jumped right out there. He was a ARCA Rookie of the Year last year, or 92 or 91, and he did a great job. He adjusted well to the midgets.
We have an excellent crowd on hand. They are here to see the USAC midgets. They are here to see the legends of the sport and the Fastmasters. And, of course, once again, we kind of flip-flop. If we take a look at the top 5, only 4 will transfer, including Younts, Dryden, Talsman, and Kenyon. Carlson will have to go through the semi. We flip-flop that first heat race with the first Fastmasters because, as we've told you, Well, Dick Trickle is still active in Winston Cup racing. He was qualifying up at Michigan today, did not get qualified yesterday, and he is now on the ground here in Indianapolis on the west side, is on his way over. So, in all fairness, we held up the first heat race for the Fastmasters. Let's go back trackside in Dave Despain.
Look at those Thunderheads, will you, man? They have turned out in force here this evening. One of the guys they came to see, of course, is Gary Bettenhausen. And guess who drew the pole position for the first Fastmasters heat race? But I see him over there, and he doesn't appear to be in his driving suit. And we're going to get more on that story right now as we bring you the new member of our Saturday Night Thunder team here for the Fastmasters Championship. Let's go to Dave Wilson. Dave?
Thanks a lot, Dave Despain. Yes, we are here with Gary Bettenhausen, and you're in the wrong clothes, Gary. Now, you made a little mistake the first time, though, yesterday. What happened?
Yes, like you said, I said earlier, I've done something I've never done in my career before. Made a mistake and crashed.
Tell us about it. Was the Jaguar not handling, or were you just pushing it a little too hard?
Well, I knew we weren't going to have much practice time, and I wanted to find out how hard I could get into the corner without the car getting away, and believe me, it won.
You know, they tell me you had the field covered by 2 seconds when you stuck it in the fence over here.
Well, the car was feeling pretty good, and it hadn't done anything, so I kept driving it in a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper, and then all of a sudden it just decided to swap ends on me, and there's nothing I could do.
Well, we hope that you'll have an opportunity to come back. Maybe one of these guys will decide they don't want to compete and just let you have the ride. What do you think? Is that a chance that'll happen?
Well, I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, good luck to you, Gary. Let's get back to Dave Despain.
I'll tell you what, I wish I would Troy Ruttman. I'd love to have him for an honorary crew chief here for this evening. He's going to be giving Ruttman a few tips. That family tie, of course, goes back many, many years in the great sport of IndyCar racing. I tell you what, the midgets are spectacular. The Trickle's on his way. He's getting close, we understand. We're lining up for the first of the Fastmaster Challenge heat races. Look at those $700,000 Jaguars. We'll be back with more after this.
This summer, you can have the best seat in the house for the hottest soccer under the sun. It's Copa America 93, and it's live on pay-per-view. Starting June 16th, you can watch 10 key matches of Copa America live in your living room, including every quarterfinal, semifinal, and the grand final on July 4th. And if you call your cable company now, you can order all 10 games for one incredible price. The best of Copa America is live on pay-per-view.
Ford is the people's choice in America. 5 of the 10 best-selling vehicles are built by Ford. And Williamsport is the people's choice in Connecticut with huge discounts on all remaining 93s. Like a new Escort LX wagon, not $12,000, just $95.95. $95.95. Or a new Taurus GL, not $17,000, just $14,395. Over 390 new vehicles, including Explorers, all specially priced. Come to Williamsport and see how much you'll save. Williamsport, the only name a smart Ford buyer needs to know.
Major League excitement. 5 nights a week on ESPN.
The Rhino is back. Ryne Sandberg leads the Cubs against the Expos in a struggle to keep pace in the NL East. Tomorrow night at 8 Eastern on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball.
It is time to meet the Fastmasters, class of 1993, the outstanding over 50 drivers who will compete in these magnificent $700,000 Jaguars for the honor of King of the Fastmasters and for a prize of $100,000 that will go to the winner of the final round here, round 6 at Indianapolis Raceway Park. The drivers in alphabetical order, and coincidentally, the first man alphabetically has drawn the pole. His forte, sports car racing. Watch him on the road course tonight. He's a Sebring 12-hour winner 3 times over from upstate New York, 57-year-old Bob Aiken. And starting 6th, joining Aiken on the grid, 1983 Winston Cup champion, ladies and gentlemen, 3-time winner of the Daytona 500, 6 times most popular driver, injured in '88. He's back in 1993 from Hueytown, Alabama, 55 years of age. Back in racing tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Allison. We all welcome you back, Bobby. The first man ever to turn a 200-mile-per-hour race qualifying lap will start 7th tonight. He starred in sports cars, stock cars, Indy cars, and believes to this day he won the 72 Indy 500. Joining him in the grid will be Gary Bettenhausen. Gary, at age 52, crashed his Jaguar in practice. He is the honorary crew chief tonight for Troy Ruttman. Gary Bettenhausen. And next, in fact, the first man ever to turn a 200-mile-per-hour race qualifying lap. He has 7 starting spots. Yes, it was a varied background for him. He is the man who perhaps violated the fuel rules and lost that 72 500, 58 years of age. Welcome him back to Indianapolis, Jerry Grant. All right. The man who will line up 3rd here this evening calls Columbus, Ohio home, but he has a winter place in Florida. That place is Victory Lane at Daytona. He has won GTU honors at the 24 Hours 3 straight years. He's the current IMSA GTU point leader. 61 years of age, proud to be a Fastmaster. He comes here tonight to wheel his Jaguar. Ladies and gentlemen, Dick Greer. Now let's meet the past USAC stock car champion who went south to take on NASCAR. He has 2nd starting spot tonight, this man who dominated the super speedways and then retired at the peak of his career. From Elmhurst, Illinois, the 58-year-old golden boy, Freddie Lorenzen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, no Fastmaster has more success at this track than our 4th starter, a 6-time winner. Next door on the drag strip, a legend in funny cars. He's moved to Top Fuel and is eyeing a championship. But can he turn left? We'll find out tonight. At age 51, from California, Ed the Ace McCullough. And now a guy who came up from Texas in the late 50s to try Midwest sprint cars. Our 5th starter quickly found his way to Indianapolis. 500 Rookie of the Year in 62, finished 3rd in 66. He is 65 years old, and his last race was last Friday night. From Texas, ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy McElreath. And a similar career path for one of his contemporaries. He was a teenage sprint car champ. Our 8th starter roared into Indianapolis from the West Coast, and at the age of 22, became the youngest man ever to drive into Victory Lane at the 500. Now 63 years old. We haven't been able to get the grin off his face all weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, Troy Ruttman. Hey, Troy. And the Winston Cup Stock Car Rookie of the Year at the age of 48. Our 9th starter should feel right at home in an over 50 class. Winner of over 1,200 features in the Midwest Stock Car Wars. He is 51-year-old Wisconsin White Knight, Dick Trickle. And Dick Trickle is at this moment on the field. He just landed his airplane and jumped in the car and drove over here, having competed this afternoon at Michigan International Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1993 Fastmasters class. Let's give them all a big round of applause. And with that, gentlemen, we invite you to climb in those cars and let's get ready to kick off what we hope will be a legendary series for many, many years to come. We wish you all great success here this evening. Awaiting them $700,000 Jaguars, and meet this fellow. This is Jasper. Jasper the Fastmaster, our official mascot here this evening, saying welcome to ESPN. Who else could bring you this incredible series and this, the return of Bobby Allison? We'll be right back.
I don't need some fancy aftershave to tell me I'm a man.
And I don't need some expensive cologne to make time with the ladies. I use Skin Bracer. It smells great. It also cools my skin, tones it up, and takes care of it after a good close shave. I don't need anything more. Confidence is very sexy, don't you think?
Skin Bracer Aftershave, more than a great scent.
By Menon.
3 reasons not to buy BF Goodrich TA tires. Being the center of attention makes you uncomfortable. You think a Little Deuce Coupe is a place where tiny chickens are kept. You think Lug Nuts is a high-fiber cereal. BF Goodrich TA tires, when you're ready to get serious.
It is the Fastmasters Championship. Great drivers should race for big bucks. $100,000 will go to our champion. Among the over 50 stars here, second place good for 25 grand, third and fourth. The total prize money, $327,500. And as the drivers begin to buckle in to these magnificent automobiles, let's hear from perhaps the most interested spectator in the place here tonight. Standing by with Bobby Allison, his son Davey, and Dave Wilson.
Yes, sir. Davey Allison, your dad, just a couple of words with Dad. What did you tell him?
Just told him good luck and to go have fun.
You think this is going to be, is he excited about this whole deal?
I've been looking forward to this for about as long as he has.
So there's no apprehension in the family. They're all excited for Dad to get back out there behind the wheel.
You know, everybody's back home watching the night on TV, and you know, they're all excited about it. We're excited about it. There hasn't been any apprehension at all, just some anxiousness.
Has he expressed any thoughts about how he's been doing? Is he excited about it? He looked good, didn't he?
All I had to do was see the twinkle in his eye and the smile on his face, and that told the story right there.
Well, the Allison family's all excited. Back to you, Dave Despain.
What a great moment. So much talk about this man, this great driver, this champion taken from his career so unfortunately in 1988. And all the while he listened to the talk and thought, yes, I'd like to come back someday. And then at last, one day, he saw a car on the track and he found himself wondering, how does that feel? What's causing it to do that? And he realized he'd placed himself mentally in the cockpit. And from there, it was simply the road back to here tonight as Bobby Allison climbs back in the car. Let's take a look at the Fastmasters mantle. Yes, they have trophies in abundance at home in their trophy rooms. 110 NASCAR wins, 106 USAC feature wins, 60 Indy 500 starts, 4 Daytona 500 victories, 4 wins in the 12 hours of Sebring, and 3 in the 24 hours of Daytona. All of that on one grid. They're champions of Winston Cup, USAC, Sprints and Stocks, also the USAC Silver Crowns, ASA, ARTCO, IMSA, and SCCA. Championship trophies in every one of those divisions on the mantles of these, the Fastmasters. They have strapped themselves in the car, and they are prepared for the first of our 3 heats tonight, which will be the oval track heat. This is the oval track heat race. They'll come back and run another heat race on the modified road course. When you think of Jaguar, you think of exquisite lines. You think of beautiful automobiles. You think of a company that over the years has produced fantastic cars to look at. But there is that terrific racing heritage that goes with this car. And tonight, that heritage lives on. The XJ220. From the drawing board to this magnificent sculpture in metal and alloy and space-age materials. It carries on a terrific tradition. Never has any car had the opportunity to do what this one will tonight. It's a mid-engine rear drive, a 2-passenger specialty sports coupe. That doesn't tell the whole story. Here's the story. 3.5-liter, 24-valve twin-turbo fuel injected. The bottom line, though, is how fast this car will go. 0 to 60 in 4 seconds, top speed 220. Fastest production car on the planet. And there are no mistakes in that price tag. $750,000. $750,000 a copy, $7 million worth of cars. And Tom Walkinshaw, appropriately enough, driving the pace car as we prepare for the call of the first heat of the first ever Fastmasters Championship on ESPN. Gary and Larry, I'm a little jealous, guys. Take it away.
No track, Larry, this size has ever played host to a starting field of $7 million. I called my banker. I said, you be watching because I want to borrow the money to buy one of these cars.
This is just simply amazing. I just can't imagine being able to put together these kinds of drivers as well as these kind of cars.
All right, the blind draw from yesterday will have Bob on the pole. He starts inside row number 1, the sports car veteran from upstate New York, and alongside the USAC stock car champion, NASCAR most popular driver on 2 occasions, Fred Lorenzen from Illinois. In the second row on the inside, the veteran sports car racer from Columbus, Ohio, Dick Greer in the green number 6. Outside a 6-time U.S. national champion, Ed McCulloch comes here from California. We move now to the inside of row 3, the veteran from Arlington, Texas, from USAC competition, Jim McElreath, 65 years of age, and Bobby Allison from Hueytown, Alabama, returns after 5 years of inactivity. And then it's Jerry Grant inside row 4, the sports car and IndyCar veteran, now living in Missouri. And outside, the winner of 1952's Indy 500, Troy Ruttman. He won it at the age of 22. And then, starting alone in row 5, Dick Trickle, formerly from Wisconsin. Now he lives in North Carolina. Now we ride with Jimmy McElreath, 65 years of age. He's in an exotic sports car this week. Last Friday, he won, or was leading a sprint car. Oh, look at this. Look who's here. Benny Parsons.
You think these guys aren't excited? They're all going to give her and get the scoop. They don't want to be left out. They
I love Benny's quote. He said, take all the cars I've ever driven in racing, add them all together, and they don't amount to $750,000.
I know. These guys are so excited. They don't want to miss a trick. They think they can learn anything. They're going to be here trying to learn, man.
All right, and once again, we're riding the CarQuest Cage Cam is... Oh, look at that, Johnny Parsons. Johnny Parsons, in a couple of years, will be eligible. He's 48 years old right now. In a couple of years, we'll be looking for JP out there.
There's a lot of interest from everybody, Gary. Everybody's really anxious just to know what's going to happen. What are these guys going to do?
Once again, riding now with Jimmy McElreath, and Jim will start inside the 3rd row. This will be 10 laps on the oval. Now, this is the blind draw from yesterday. However, their finishing order here will determine the starting lineup for our second race, inverted. The winner here will start scratch.
Boy, it's going to be neat to watch this start. Everybody's going to try to outfox each other, but we're going to find out who has remembered best how to do that.
Pair of silver cars up front. Bobby Aiken on the inside. Look at that. He missed the shift. Aiken missed the shift, and they're all on the brakes trying to avoid contact.
Yeah, when he missed that shift up front, everybody on the brake, tires were smoking, everybody going every which way, trying to get around him. But it's
battled down the backstretch. Lorenzen had the lead, but there goes number 8. Amazing. That is Ed McCulloch. That's the 6-time U.S. national champion. He's never raced on an oval, and he's out in front. Started outside the 2nd row. Got an excellent start. Lorenzen rides in 2nd. Bobby Allison goes 3rd.
Well, I'll tell you what, they must not have been lying. He's been practicing down that return road all these years. Nobody even knew it, man.
That's Dick Greer, the green number 6, moving on the inside, coming off the 2nd corner. He pulls alongside of Troy Ruttman. They are side by side into 3.
That's McElreath. That's the 10 car right there, Ruttman. McElreath and the 9 car trying to split him. Look at this.
He almost got Ruttman. He didn't get Ruttman. And Trickle gets into him. Trickle right through victory lane. Trickle in the black 11 car. There's a shot from Ruttman. Or no, that's from McElreath. McElreath, the black 9. And there's a shot of the black 11 of Trickle. So indeed, there's Jimmy. He is okay. McElreath is okay. He actually did make contact, apparently, with Troy Ruttman.
Well, he tried to stick his nose in there. He tried to get out of it, but he lost the rear end. When he was out of the throttle, that thing got sideways. When he spun, poor old Dick Trickle had no place to go. He hit him, and boy, that car's pretty badly damaged right there.
It's been a tough weekend for Dick Trickle. He tried to qualify at Michigan yesterday, failed. Then he comes in here for some practice. He goes back to Michigan to qualify today. He comes back to race tonight. He goes back to race in Michigan tomorrow, and he's testing IROC in Michigan on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Yeah. Let's take a look at what happens again as he tries to make it 3 abreast.
He didn't really hit anybody. He just tried to stick his nose down there, and when he saw he didn't have room, he tried to pinch it a little bit, and we did it. The back end just came around, and boy, they knocked down a lot of beautiful line work there.
There goes victory lane. Let's look again. I think he does make...
No, I don't think so, Gary. It looks to me like he was just right there in the middle, and as he tried to go up, no, he lost the back end. He tried to correct, and I think he just spun. He just tried to correct that thing when the back end got around. But boy, look, I tell you, Bob Aiken did one heck of a job to stay out of the middle of that thing as he went clear to the back. Oh, boy, he really cleaned out that checkerboard sign. Wow.
Well, it was tough for Bob Aiken because he obviously had the great starting spot, missed the shift. He's been going well in practice on the oval, but it really wasn't meant to be. He's got his work cut out for him now as the car is headed back. Well, there's a look at Aiken, and you can see he's got some driver's side door. And let's go down the track side to Dave Wilson.
We're down here with Jimmy McElroy. Jimmy, how was it going for you? Now, what happened exactly?
Well, the car was working real good, and I had a owner get in the middle of those two cars, and I got up in the middle of it and just got things down a little bit and went around on me.
Do you think you had a chance of getting up to the front there and showing them the fast way around the 5/8 oval here?
Well, I was trying.
Going back up to you, Gary and Larry.
We just mentioned earlier he was racing that Legends sprint car race last Friday night. In fact, led the first half of the race, ended up finishing 4th at Knoxville.
That's
so
right.
From a sprint car to an exotic sports car.
Yeah, Jimmy's been running every kind of race car imaginable for the last, 30 years, I suppose. And he's not intimidated by any of them. He doesn't care whether it's a sprint car at Knoxville, Iowa, or $750,000 Jaguar. He's going to run that thing as fast as it'll go, and that's what he was trying to do. He just got a little loose, and the thing backed around on him and caught the other car.
All right, call it again. He tries to make it 3 wide, doesn't work.
Now, he pulled in there. He got a little pin. He got right in between them. The back end got a little bit loose. You're going to see the back end swing out. Then he lost the front end. He tried to keep from hitting the other car, which he did. But when he did, the back end just came around. And poor old Dick Trickle was just a victim of circumstances. Had no place to go. Bam, right into the fence. Then they make contact again. And Bob Aiken got into Trickle during that confrontation a little bit.
And I think Dave is with Trickle right now. Dave?
Sir, I am down here with Dick Trickle. Dick, if your trip at Fastmasters had been as long as your trip from the airport to the IRP, you'd been a lot better off, wouldn't you?
You know, we run a Raymont car over there for the, Factor Shows America people in the Winston Cup, but we run late because they had some rain over there and the ARCA race got over. We get an hour of practice later. So we run a late arrival here, but they waited his heat on us. But we won practice down here last night, more or less, and run real good. And, they drew 10 spots starting for me, which is the back of the pack. And, you can't, with 10 laps to go, you can't give too much. So I was making a charge up underneath, and one of the outside guys spun down and come across the track and, into my path, and I couldn't avoid him. So
did it feel pretty good out there for you?
Well, we just got a couple laps where we were getting sorted out, but last night in practice I run real good, so I think I had a good shot at winning this thing.
You like the feel of the car?
Really do, it's a terrific series. I talked to the guys, and I'm really sad that I'm out of it because I think I was going to be one of the contenders to win the big one, and here we are with got caught up in somebody else's stuff again.
Well, better luck tomorrow up in Michigan.
Thank you.
Back up to Gary and Larry.
Oh, doesn't that say it all in racing? You get caught up in somebody else's mess.
Yes, you do. And I've said before in this series, I think it's not going to be necessarily the fastest guy that wins this series. It's going to be the smartest guy.
And the luckiest.
And the luckiest. That's right. You have to be lucky, but you got to be smart. You've got to take care of your equipment, and you've got to be around when this thing is over with. But look who's leading this thing, Gary.
I'm impressed. I was impressed yesterday. Now, he did take a couple of schools. He went to Bondurant School out at Willow Springs, and he's been on this track in a modified. But, hey, when a guy has his kind of experience in drag racing, we didn't expect him to be leading at this point.
That's right, we didn't, but he's doing a fantastic job.
Well, he leads, and there's a look at that silver number 7 riding in second. That would be Fred Lorenzen. And then Bobby Allison is third. Then it's Troy Ruttman and Dick Greer. Only 2 laps. We've got 8 more to go from Raceway Park.
The 93 Jaguar XJ6 at $549 a month. It's a dream come true. See your local Jaguar dealer for details. This offer is for a limited time only.
We feel the best way to advertise a car like Mercury Sable is the direct approach. Mention the car, show the car. Mention the interior, show the interior. Mention the safety features, show the safety features. Mention Sable's commitment to design excellence and leadership. Show the car again. All this and the quality of a Mercury.
The Prince tries to regain the title of King of the Ring. Former world champion Prince Charles Williams takes on Art Bayless. Top Right Boxing, tomorrow afternoon live on ESPN.
Interested spectator looking on as his dad, Bobby, is out there right now. Bobby Allison. His son Davey looks on. There's Bobby presently third. He's in a real good position for the last 8 laps of this one. But we understand when that victory lane stand was wiped out, there were some nails down there, and the crew had to go out and pick up the nails off the front straightaway.
Well, I certainly hope nobody picked one of them up. We don't need any more of them in the pits because of a flat tire. But I'll tell you what, I'm as emotional as the family as I think to see Bobby Allison out there running as well as he is.
There was a poignant moment yesterday when practice began. He made a vow to his wife that he would not go out on the track until she arrived, and he waited in his car until Judy arrived before he went out.
Yeah, it's a very close family, very close-knit, very a great moment for them and for everybody in automobile racing. Did you see what happened just right there, Gary? They thought they were going to get a start, and Troy Ruttman smokes off all 3 of those guys in front of him. He says, man, I may be 63 years old, but I'm not going to get blown up.
But they were told, the drivers, there'd be a furled flag, meaning one more lap to go, and all he saw was the green flag go up, and he hit the hammer.
They didn't have that furled flag rule when he ran, I'll tell you.
Back in 52, I guess not. And he said, yes, I was 22 when I won the race, despite the rumor that I was younger. There's the green flag. Now we are racing once again on lap number 3, the first of 3 heat races for the Fastmaster. And now the challenge develops for second position. Fred Lorenzen, the silver number 7. He's being challenged there by the green number 3 of Bobby Allison.
I think Allison's trying to figure out a way to get around Lorenzen. Lorenzen seems to be holding him up. But Ruttman's right behind him, and Ruttman's down on the bottom side. Looks like he's going to try to give him a...
Oh, it's going to take 2. I'm on. Ruttman spins. Keep it going. Keep it going. Got the fence. Troy Ruttman spins and gets the fence.
Oh, man.
He looked like he had a shot at getting by on the low side. The chassis.
It was a great move. And the problem is, Gary, these race cars are fairly heavy. They're about 2,500 pounds, and you cannot just run them in there and stop a slide. Once a slide starts with these things, it's awfully, awfully difficult to get them slowed back and stopped. So that was what happened to Troy. He got in there, he just couldn't get that thing whooped and had to keep going. But look at
Jerry Grant there in the dark 5. He was on the top side of Dick Greer's 6 car, but the green stays out. In the meantime, well, McCullough's gone. Lorenzen arrives in second, but Ed the Ace looks like he's going to pick up a victory here and perhaps 10 points. Now the yellow comes out. Now the yellow is out. You can see the yellow as they work into the corner as we ride with Bobby Allison.
Well, Ed the Ace got a great start on the original start, moved right in the front in the first corner, and he looks to be fairly comfortable out there right now. I think everybody in the drag racing world is as surprised as we are.
There's a look at Troy. He is all right. Troy's lost 50 pounds getting in shape, exercising, running, and here a look again as he tries to pick up a position, gets low in turn 3.
He's been watching these midgets on Saturday Night Thunder all these years. Look, he just tried to do exactly what they did. He went right in there, took one spot away, almost had the second one, but the back end just starts to come around on him a little bit. He couldn't get it stopped. He got on the brakes. He tried to keep that thing low. The smoke flies over. You know, you can't hardly see for all the smoke. And I thought if he could have got that thing turned to the left just a little quicker, he might have missed the fence, but he couldn't quite get it done.
Now he gets under Bobby Allison right there. Tries to get under Fred Lorenzen. And it looks like he starts to push up a little bit.
That's what happened. The race car started to push, and when he tried to jerk it down to keep from hitting Lorenzen, the thing just came around on him. He couldn't quite get it to stop pushing enough, and his only choice was to either run into Lorenzen or to turn the thing around.
4 laps down, 6 laps to go. Let's go back pit side. Dave Wilson.
We're down here with Troy Ruttman. Troy, you started in the back of the pack. You were challenging up there for the lead. Unbelievable job. How was it feeling?
The car was great. I just got a little, just got in there and couldn't quite get by Freddie. I got by Allison, and I was wanting to, move on into second, and we just touched, and I didn't want to spin him out. And just one of those things. The car was running great. Those are the finest Jaguars I ever drove in my life. Had muscle up the galore, and it was just great. I really had a ball. I'm sorry I hurt the car, but you got to get in there and hustle and try. But I didn't want to knock Lorenzen out. So.
Did you ever think back when you first started driving race cars that one day you'd crash a $750,000 race car?
Never in my life. I feel bad about it. But boy, did they run good. The boys from Jaguar had that car flying, and I think we could have done real good. We had a little unfortunate thing happen, and I'm really sorry. And I really want to thank the Fastmasters for inviting me, and it was a big thrill, and I want to thank you for interviewing me, and I'm sorry it happened. It's a darn shame.
Well, the 52 Indianapolis champ has to watch the rest from the sidelines.
But a good race driver always says to the crew, can you get it fixed for the next race? They may have to go to work and see if they can't get Troy back for our road course edition.
Yeah, you know, these things are fairly fragile, but they might be able to get it fixed.
There's some damage there to Jerry Grant. Well, now we ride for the restart with Bobby Allison. He rides back in third. That's fearless Freddie Lorenzen right in front of him. And Ed the Ace McCullough leads the way as they go to work on lap number 5.
That's Bob Aiken, who's running fourth in this silver number 2 car. So it's, you know, he's moved all the way to the back. He went clear to the back. Now he's clear back up to 4th position.
Yeah, we've got silver car riding in second. That's Freddie Lorenzen. And then the green car of Allison, another silver car of Aiken. Aiken missed the shift at the start, or he may have been out in front right now.
Yeah, he had a good starting position, but just missed a shift there at the beginning and went sort of last place. He's moved his way back up to 4th position. And he looks like he's real anxious to move on up a little farther, but I think after watching the last couple of spins, he's going to be very careful because he doesn't want to mess anything up for the last 2 heats.
5 laps down, 5 laps to go. What do you think of your ace McCullough? You look in the rearview mirror, you see these guys behind you with 2 stock car veterans, and you've got a gap on them.
If you're Ace McCullough right now, you're styling and smiling, boy. You're out there in front having a great time. He thinks this is great. I've been hearing all about these great oval track races all my life, and I'm blowing their doors off.
And you just can't wait to get your shot in a few years, Bryce. But the gap remains status quo. And there again, Aiken takes a look to the inside. He wants a piece of Bobby Allison.
Well, as you can see, all these cars are fairly equal. They're all still on the same straightaway. Bobby Allison, you know, these guys haven't raced in a while, some of them, and they're having a little trouble figuring out a way to get past the guys in front of them. Aiken's dropped to the bottom. He's going to try down there. No, can't quite do it. He's still on the bottom, but he's a little leery of that less banking. As I said before, 10-degree banking at the top. It graduates down to about 4 degrees on the bottom. Down to where he's at, it's only about 6-degree banking. He just can't get the banking to hold it to get around.
Now remember, 10 points for the winner of this heat race, 9 points per second, and will invert the start of the second heat race on the modified road course by virtue of their finish here. So Ed, if he wins this, would have to start at the back of the back. We look back and Aiken, they're going to try 3 wide again down the straightaway. Don't do that, guys.
They're getting off the race.
Get brave.
Allison sees that he had a chance to get under him. He moved down a little bit. Aiken was underneath him. Here we see Aiken. He's going to move down to the bottom again in that 2 car. No, can't quite do it. He just doesn't want to risk it.
The fast way around here is up on the high side, but to make a pass, you've got to run where the other guy isn't running, and right now that means low.
Well, to try to equalize it, here comes the white flag out this time by Gary. Here, if you're going to do it this time, Allison's going to have to try it this time. White flag, McCullough's got a good lead. He's not going to be beat.
Well, right now, it's all his race to win. And he comes off the second corner, heads down the backstretch. The battle continues for third. Aiken wants to move up 1 spot. It's Lorenzen there in the silver number 7. He rides in second. Then the 3 car of Allison is third. And 4th is Bob Aiken, the silver number 2. There is the checker flag. What a surprise. The fans salute. Allison, he tried it, but he finished in third. Lorenzen takes second. Allison takes third.
Every straight racer in America is saying, "Attaboy, attaboy."
And look at Davey looking on as Dad takes 3rd position after 5 years out of the cockpit. There's a look. Oh, look at the okay. He's waving to somebody, another competitor perhaps. And look at the smile. Look at the grin on Bobby Allison.
I don't think any of us sitting here or at home can imagine the feelings that man and his family have right now. After all this time, he's just got his pilot's license back. He's just got back in a race car. This has got to be one of the most satisfying parts of his whole life, to know that he can do this again.
Well, I understand that he has been taking a few rides with his Winston Cup car when they test that, and I wonder if perhaps he'd like to get back in the cockpit of a race car again. Look at this. Ed, the ace, he's won 6 times in the drag strip directly behind us. He's won the U.S. Nationals 5 times in the funny cars, once in Top Fuel, and I don't think anybody, despite how well he went last night in practice, would have believed that he would have won this first heat.
I tell you what, he surprised me more than anybody yesterday. Even though he had that doggone EMOD out here last week, and back in the fence, he really surprised me.
Here's the battle for second. Lorenzen, the silver number 7, but look at Bobby Allison. Pinches it a bit, looks to the inside. He needed another 100 yards or so, and he may have had him.
Well, I tell you what, that was a great effort on his part. He knew that was the last lap. He saved it all up. He tried to get him. He just didn't quite get it done.
Well, the banking wasn't high enough. The speed was not fast enough for the Daytona slingshot. That's right. What he was trying.
That's right. The drafting wasn't good enough. That's exactly what happened.
So once again, Ed the Ace McCullough takes the victory over Freddie Lorenzen. Bobby Allison 3rd, and Bob Aiken was 4th, and a very happy Allison in the form of Davey, his son, who flew down from Michigan to be with his dad tonight. Judy's along, his wife.
I was talking to him a little earlier. We were talking about him getting his pilot's license back, and I said, I remember when you used to land on this drag strip right behind us. He said, man, I used to ride. Look at the reaction here. Oh, yeah.
All right, Dad, all right.
Oh, that's fantastic. He says, I've landed on every racetrack in America. He says, I've landed at Atlanta. He said, I've landed in Michigan, Daytona, everywhere. Look at this.
Look at that smile. Oh, you got to love it. You got to be happy for the entire outfit. Oh, there's Judy. A big kiss from wife Judy. Dave Wilson, I think you're standing by with a very happy family.
Yes, we are down here at Bobby and Davey. Bobby, how did it feel to get back out on the racetrack?
That really feels so good. I'm telling you, and what a neat car. You know, I got to really compliment the cars. The Jaguar's really a neat piece, and the effort just really is great.
Looked like you almost got Freddie Lorenz in there at the end. You kind of slingshot him coming off before, almost got him.
Yeah, I thought about it and tried to look for any opportunity, and Freddie was just really taking the track and doing good, and I at least had to give it a try.
Now, Bobby, tomorrow when you're up in Michigan for the Winston Cup race, how much kidding you think are you guys going to take for getting beat by a drag racer?
Anybody that goes to kid me about that, we'll just go ahead and stick him in the Winston Cup and let them show them too.
Where's the family at, or the rest? Where's their family? Let's get everybody in here. There's Davey? Davey, get in here. Davey, did you have a great time? What did you think of the dad? How'd he do?
I thought he did great.
Would you like to get behind the wheel of one of these in, say, 20 or 30 years?
Well, I've got 18 years before I can qualify for it, so I think I'll stick to the Winston Cup cars for now.
Yeah, and here we go. Miss Allison, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right.
How did you feel watching him out there on the track again?
It was all right. It was really good, just like old time.
Well, we're really happy for all of the Allison family. Did a great job. Anything anybody else want to say? No. Looks like a pretty satisfied Allison Racing family, guys.
What a wonderful moment, and in that group, I think I admire Judy Allison perhaps the most. Are you surprised to see this guy? You shouldn't be. He's here getting tips for next week. Benny Parsons, welcome to Fastmaster. What'd you learn, man?
I tell you what, I want Ed McCullough's car. hey, guys, see if you can't fix it up. I want that car that Ed McCullough's.
It had to be the car. We're going to get some more reactions from this guy. We're going to talk to Ace McCullough as he has won the oval track heat race of the 1993 Fastmasters Challenge. What a night at Indianapolis Raceway Park. We'll be right back.
It's a round world, genuine and true. It keeps on spinning and you always come through. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your Proud to be your bud. Ow! Oh, Rex, go get me the vice grip pliers.
Rex! Get what?
Rex!
Rex!
Thanks, Rex.
Vice grip locking pliers, the handyman's best friend.
Great look. Beautiful hair. And only weeks ago, she came to my salon with a problem. Dandruff. So I showed her what Head & Shoulders can do. We washed half her hair with regular shampoo, the other half with Head & Shoulders. The result? Regular shampoo side, dandruff. Head & Shoulders side, flake-free. Looking good, Sally.
Thanks to you.
Head & Shoulders, because beautiful hair can't have flakes.
Burt Reynolds for Quaker State.
The big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will. You know, when it comes to protecting against friction, nothing beats Quaker State. When it comes to protecting against viscosity breakdown, nothing beats Quaker State. When it comes to keeping engines clean, nothing beats Quaker State. Take it from me, for unbeatable protection, nothing beats Quaker State. It's one tough motor oil.
Here is the headline story after the first heat of the Fastmasters Championship inauguration. Ed McCullough leads. Some of the greatest oval track racers of all time gathered here on this 5/8 mile bowl. And when said is done, it is McCullough, the straight line racer, who comes away with the victory. First of all, a sincere congratulations. The smile on your face says a lot. That had to be fun.
Oh, that's great, Dave. I mean, to be able to go out here and race with these guys, you know, I mean, it's awesome. And to be able to go out and win that heat, I can't say what I feel.
Give me an honest answer. Did you really feel like a winner? Every driver says at every race, I go there thinking I'm going to win. Did you think you could win it?
Well, I set my goals real high coming in here. My intention was to finish the race. You know, it's real easy to go out there and get over your head, and I'm trying real hard not to do that. Try to be smooth. The guys have tried to teach me a little bit, and, you know, the question, could I turn left? Well, I could turn left a little bit.
And you took good care of the car. And it looks like that's going to be one of the keys. We've got the midgets back out there. We offer you our sincere, quick congratulations and wish you luck in the road racing heat.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Ed McCullough, let's go topside for the second midget heat.
Welcome along. We are live on ESPN from Indianapolis Raceway Park for our second USAC midget heat race. They line up this way. Chris Malone and Mike Hurst in the front row. In row 2, Jack Runyon and John Murphy. In the third row, on the inside, Stan Fox, a two-time winner on this racetrack, and Kenny Irwin. In the fourth row, Mike Bliss. All right, it should be interesting that Mike Bliss starting at the back of the pack. And let's go back trackside quickly. Dave Wilson.
Right over here now, we got Fred Lorenzen finished second to Ace. You had him measured up there. Was there any chance you think another lap or two you could have caught him?
Dave, to be honest, I don't know. I sort of ran conservative. I want to stay out of trouble. I'm sort of driving it for the points and hope I can win it overall. A lot of money, 100,000, but if I could have caught him easy, I would have. I don't think I could. He's running good. I think that each race I go, I get a little better. I think the other guys are too. I just wanted to stay out of trouble. You got to finish to win it.
That's true. We're going to let you rest up there, Fred. Thanks a lot. Great job.
Very much. Hell of a machine. Jag.
Back up top.
All right, well, we've got some good machines here, but there's the green flag. I'm not sure that green flag's going to stay out. I think the yellow will come out as they turn corner.
It certainly looks that way because Chris Malone dropped clear to last place as they went through that front straightaway. I don't know what happened, but it just looked like the car did not pick up. Yeah, there's no start. They've thrown a yellow flag. Chris Malone's car did not pick up. Either he didn't pick up the throttle or it wouldn't pick up, and he went clear to last place.
I understand that Runyon jumped, and he was upside down on his head last night in the Larry Rice Classic down at Bloomington.
Yes, and this is a brand new race car. He didn't fix that puppy, I'll guarantee you. So that's a brand new race car they brought out tonight. Look at, oh, sure it is.
7 tonight.
3 number 7s. We got 30 cars here, and 3 of them in the same race all end up number 7. They wonder why we have trouble figuring out who's who, right?
Well, there is Malone on the inside, your new points leader in the USAC National Midgets on the outside. That is Kenny Irwin. Now, here is what we call a jump. Now, watch the red 7.
Yeah, Runyon got down in there. He got up in front of Chris Malone. I think Malone saw what was happening, and he just stayed out of the throttle. He was hoping it would go yellow if he didn't get in the throttle and try to keep up with him.
But when the rookie Runyon goes low, look who's behind him. Stan Fox, the veteran.
Hey, he wasn't going to get caught with his pants down. He was going to go too, man.
All right, let's try it again as Critter Malone will set the pace from inside the front row alongside Kenny Irwin. Now it's Fox that goes down low. We get the green flag. Fox sneaks back up, and now he's back low again. Look at that move.
And he went from the last row to second spot. I don't know whether they're going to let that stick or not. He went right in the lead. Now Bliss down on the inside there. Did they leave the green flag out?
The green flag stays down. Look at Bliss. He makes a move to the inside. He goes by Malone, moves up a spot. He now is up to 4th position. Only 4 will transfer.
My gosh, look at the lead that Fox has after only 1 lap. Kenny Irwin, who started on the front row, he went right around him coming off the second turn and just blew him away. But Bliss in that blue number 6 car all the way up to 4th. Some of these guys got a good start. Some of them didn't get such a good start at all.
There's a look at Runyon in his rookie season with USAC. Now we look at the Potter V6, the number 6 car, Bliss. He pulls up behind Mike Hurst. Only 4 will transfer. This is an 8-lap heat race. And he goes to work and looks to the inside into turn 2.
Tell you what, Mike Hurst got a good start on that thing, too, because he was way in the back because he had to get a push start, so he had to be moved to the back. Look at Runyon. Right now, he's going to take a run on Critter Malone. This is the Troy Ruttman move right here. Let's see if he does any better.
Yeah, this car only weighs about 900 pounds, too.
Yeah, he pulled her off. He did well. Yeah, he pulled around in every seat.
John Murphy looks to the inside, that yellow number 2 car. This is the new ride for John Murphy. He works at the back of the pack behind Critter Malone in block number 7.
Yeah, Critter ran that race car on dirt last night, and it took him about 6 to 7 hours to convert it over so he could run it today.
Yeah, some of these teams actually have 2 cars, one for pavement, one for dirt. Some of these guys really have to go to work and make the changeover.
I'm pretty impressed with Mike Hurst right there in that number 91 car. He just got this Birdie engine here last year, or this year, I mean, and he is basically run short tracks, but he's running real well. Look at the tire smoke off that right rear of Fox's car right
We
there.
watched Stan qualify, and Stan did not appear to be handling all that well in qualification.
Well, he still doesn't appear to be handling all that well. He's fighting the thing all the way around. He's throwing smoke off the right rear. He's sliding her sideways. I think he's really happy to be back in a midget, though. He hasn't been in one for a while. He ran the Indy car. Oh, that's really loose right now.
No, hang on, Stan.
I tell you what, he gets that thing much looser, blisters that right rear tire. He's in jeopardy of losing that lead, so he better straighten her out a little bit and get off the throttle.
Well, with 2 laps to go, there's a look at second and third. On the left in the black and red number 7 is Kenny Irwin, and there is Mike Bliss out of Milwaukee, Oregon, who's moved to the Midwest for the racing season. White flag, 1 more lap for Stan Fox. Twice he has won races on this track. I'd like to make it 3 tonight.
This racetrack, from all indications, is going to be very, very hard on tires tonight. They put some BHT on it, as we said. They put a little bit on the top and then more down in the center of the track, and that may have made it so much faster.
Stan Fox with a brand new sponsor, the Hyatt Regency Hotel chain, and he takes the checkered flag for his new sponsor. And back in second is Kenny Irwin. Third, Mike Bliss. And Mike Hirsch will take 4th. Those 4 will transfer. Then it's Jack Runyon. And then the 7-car Critter Malone. And there is a good look at Stan Fox. Stan Fox takes heat race number 2, and he'll transfer on to our 30-lap main event. And yeah, you're making an obvious observation that all this tire smoke, these crew guys are watching it, and they're thinking, what compound should we go to for the feature?
They can't change now, though, Gary. They're stuck with what they qualify.
That's right, they qualify with it, so they have to go to a hard compound. They may have made a mistake. Cruz Pedregon, the funny car champion, and he has to be pretty impressed there with Ed Ace McCulloch, his McDonald's teammate. And there's Eleanor Vogler looking on. That's Rich Vogler's mom, and she is also here with a great crowd on hand. They're here for the midgets. There's the top 5. They're also here for the Fastmasters. Come back and join us.
I know I've had the car here the whole day.
I need my car by tomorrow. Will I have it back by then? I need it for work.
I don't know. I don't even know what the heck the problem is yet.
Jill, why don't you try Sparks in Manchester? They have the equipment to analyze the problem fast.
If Jill had brought her car to Sparks in Manchester, she would have seen that at Sparks, caring about the customer is as important as working on her car. At Sparks in Manchester, not only do we service cars, but we care about people.
Hi, I'm Carter, and welcome to Decormier Nissan. I was just looking at our report card. You did great. Anyway, let me show you around. Here's the sensational Quest minivan. How about a 240 SX? Or how about the hottest selling 1993 Altima? Nissan says it's time to expect more from a car company, and their models show it. We say it's time to expect more from a car dealer, and our report card proves it. Decormier Nissan, 285 Broad Street, Manchester.
Of doses of music to videos of athletes doing the impossible. Well, you get ESPN's Maxed Out. That's right. Every day, we bring you the greatest in extreme sports. That's right. Maxed Out Maniacs. They're crazy. Watch this. See what I mean? Maxed Out. Weekdays on ESPN, where the impossible can and usually will happen.
Saturday Night Thunder is being brought to you by Suzuki. Your Suzuki motorcycle dealer has the ride you've been waiting for and the financing to get it. By Allied Signals, Fram Builders. You can pay a little now or a lot later. And by Lincoln Mercury and the complete line of 1993 Mercury automobiles. We're back at Indianapolis Raceway Park. If you have a choice, win them big. And Stan Fox won that one handily. Congratulations. Great run. What's that mean for the feature?
Well, I don't know. You know, Steve Lewis puts a good car under me, and Bob East prepares it well. But we made a mistake qualifying. I think we qualified on a little too soft a tire, and we actually ruined a tire in that heat. So come feature time, I'm going to have to be a little straighter than I was in the heat race.
I've never been able to get you to tell me how old you are. Let me rephrase the question. How soon are you going to be eligible for Fastmaster?
Hey, the way they're going through them cars, I hope they're still around when I get there. I'm only 40 now, so but I'd love to run that series. It looks like a lot of fun, you know. And Parsons and I were talking when we were putting our uniforms on. It'd be a great one to be in.
It's a terrific night of competition. midget main event's going to be the thing that wraps it up. Is a harder tire going to be the key? Can you win this thing tonight?
Well, see, we're locked into what we qualified on, so it's going to be tough. But I just want to thank the guys and everybody. We're working hard. This is only the second race for the car. I won the Copper Classic, and this is my first time back since Indy. So, I got to get the bugs out, and we got to get the bugs out, and hopefully everything will work out.
Great to see you back in the midget ranks. We enjoy watching you in Indy cars, but we consider you family here on Saturday Night Thunder, and we're certainly glad that you're part of this. We've got the third heat on the grid, on the racetrack, warming up. Let's set the starting lineup with Gary and Larry.
Ready in row 1, Randy Cook on the inside, the blue 3-car, Dave Strickland outside in the red 62. In the second row, Chris Schultz in the 3S, and Kenneth Nichols. He's won 3 times this year. He's in car 81. And in the third row, Chuck Leary in 31T, Johnny Parsons in 11V, and 4, your third quick qualifier this evening, Jim Hettinger in the Autocraft powered. Well, let's quickly go down trackside, and Dave Wilson.
What do you call? Yes, sir, I have Cruz Pendragon right here.
There is Cruz.
Cruz Pendragon down in the pit area here. Cruz, you've been watching your buddy Ed McCullough, and it's got to excite you, a drag racer, about the possibilities maybe in a few years of joining Fastmaster.
Yeah, it really does. You know, Ed's been working at this quite a long time, and it just proves that the drag racers can turn left.
Was he pretty excited about that?
Oh, he really was. He looked as pumped up as he did when he went to drag race, and it means a lot to us and our McDonald's team, and we're happy for him.
Well, Cruz Pendragon hopes to join him in the Fastmaster's winner's circle in a few years.
I think most of the guys here that are racing this evening with the driving suit on there are thinking, boy, if I were just a few years older, that'd be fun, wouldn't it?
I've never heard anybody think like that before, but I guess maybe they are.
Nobody wants to be older until something like this happens. All right, let's concentrate now. Our focus is midget competition. As they work down the backstretch, this will be heat race number 3.
On the front row, we got 2 dirt track specialists, and in the back, in that yellow car, is Jim Hettinger. He's always been a pavement specialist.
Yeah, he goes very fast here in the Autocraft-powered car, and up in front, Randy Cook finished second last night on the dirt in the Larry Rice Classic at Bloomington, Indiana. Dave Strickland, the second, starts on the outside, but look at Cook. He gets the good jump.
And Leary in that black 31 car got down on the inside from the last row and came up to about 3rd or 4th. It looks like he's going to go around Strickland in the red car and challenge for the lead right off of the back.
Oh, they almost got together down the backstretch into turn 3. Leary stays down low. Cook stays on the high side. Leary in that dark 31 side by side off the corner. Leary has the lead.
Yeah, that was a real great move, but he really pulled it off. He did a nice job. Strickland drops to the inside, but he's not going to be able to pull it off. He's got his hand up. Something's wrong with this car.
There is the Ale 81 car, the green and white car of Kenneth Nichols. He has won 3 times this year. 2 of those wins coming right here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. He looks to the inside and makes the pass. He now has second.
I think he might have touched Randy Cook just a little bit there. Cook, of course, is a 2-time Sun Prairie champion, but look at the yellow car of Hettinger. Hettinger has come from last place, challenging for 3rd, right on around. That's a Volkswagen, an Autocraft, whatever you want to call it, but that thing is really quick. He's got 10 more cubic inches this year, and it really helps him.
Well, he is always faster. He's always very smooth, and that's the key in the past. When they were giving up some horsepower, he had to be smooth.
John Parsons got a problem. You see sparks flying out of the back of that thing. I think the right rear bar is dropped or something. The right rear corner of that thing's rubbing on the track, and he's finally just slowed down, and I think he's going to have to pull in.
Well, look at Hettinger. Hettinger goes for second position as we take a look at your leader. Larry continues to lead it with 4 laps down, 4 laps to go.
Hettinger is in second place. That Mighty Sponsor race car with 10 more cubic inches really looks faster tonight. I asked him, can he tell a difference? He said, you darn right I can tell a difference.
Well, we mentioned that he's so smooth, though. He's able to keep the momentum up. He's very smooth on the corners.
But he said with more horsepower, faster straightaway speed, he had to learn that race car all over again. That race car is 11 years old. It was a Shores car built for Tom Bigelow 11 years ago. But he said we had to redo everything because with faster straightaway speed, it fouled up my cornering speed, and I'm just now getting that corner speed back.
Well, he's getting the hang of it because look at this. We're going to have a battle for the lead, and he raced number 3. Leary out in front, the black number 31. And Hettinger rides in second, the yellow number 5.
Yeah, Denny McNutt works on this engine. He's got it tuned up just right because he is flying today.
6 laps down. 2 more laps to go. The white flag will be out the next time around. He takes a look at the low side going down the backstretch. Oh, he bumped him. He actually bumped him.
Man, oh man, that's got to give you a thrill. That'll start your heart pumping.
Or stop it.
Or stop at 1, that's right.
White flag, 1 lap to go. All right, now let's see if Chuck has enough to hang on and hold off Jim Hettinger.
Well, I think Hector's going to be smart enough to know that if he can't do it easily, there's no sense crashing in the heat race. Right there, he pulls up behind him. He didn't get a very good run off there. He dropped real low. He didn't get very good entry into that corner. I think he's going to settle for second place this time.
And Chuck Leary will indeed take the victory here in heat race number 3. So Leary takes the checkered flag. Here is a good battle for position, and Randy Cook hangs on.
He beat Schultz for the 4th spot. Kenneth Nichols pulled in with a flat right rear tire on the last lap. I saw him pulling in as just as they came down for the checkered flag. He got a flat tire on the white flag lap and didn't get a finish.
That means he will have to go through our semi. There is a look at the right rear of the AL81 car.
Right, I saw him pull in. Parsons had trouble. It's going to make for a very, very interesting semi-feature, let me tell you.
So 4 transfer from this event as the crowd looks on, and we take a look at the top 5. Only 4 will transfer. Leary, Hettinger, Cook, and Schultz. And Kenneth Nichols, a winner twice on this track so far this season, will have to come back and go through the semi or the last chance race. Let's look again at Kenneth Nichols.
Well, so you can see right there, the tire's going flat, the whole thing's rubbing on the ground. That's what's causing all the sparks to fly. He does a great job just keeping that thing out of the fence. Look at him, he's all crossed up one way, then back the other way. He's just trying to keep that thing running in the right direction until he gets it slowed down, which he does. He came all around then and pulled in the pits. But I tell you, when that thing goes flat right in the middle of a corner like that, it gives you a thrill.
You also have to be careful not to jump out the throttle all at one time, because that'll really upset that chassis.
Well, you know, at that point, that race car was all upset anyway. He was just trying to save his life.
Now, there's a look at Chuck Leary, who takes the victory in heat race number 3. I tell you what, he has made steady improvement, too. He started on the short tracks and is doing very well on the higher speed race tracks.
Well, he's improved a heck of a lot over the last couple of years, and I think that's a tribute to everybody who keeps running and doing this sort of thing.
All right, we have one more heat race with the midgets. We have Fastmaster heats 2 and 3, plus a semi and a 30-lap feature from Raceway Park.
This is not a test. It's not even a quiz. But it is an emergency. GSXRs are attacking, wreaking havoc in Daytona, Laguna Seca, and other strategic points around the country. You were instructed to go to your Suzuki dealer and get a GSXR for no money down. Repeat, no money down. But hurry, the end is near.
Oil. It's the lifeblood of your engine. That makes your oil filter your engine's most vital organ. That's why Fram keeps going the extra mile to make the best protection even better. The Fram Extra Guard oil filter. Unique glass fiber paper stops more dirt than any other filter for the best protection ever. Fram Extra Guard. American or import, it's an extra lease on life.
At first, we were going to use a lot of glamorous professional models to advertise our cars. Then we considered the famous basketball player. What's his name with the shoes? We also looked at expensive special effects, catchy jingles, and snappy slogans. Then we had the big idea. Why not just show all the cars and mention things like smooth ride and fully equipped comfort, and leave the gimmicks to the other guys. Okay, so we used one glamorous professional model. All this and the quality of a Mercury.
Walter Payton, Brett Hall, Joe Theismann, Rick Fallon, Jim Rice, Stan McKeegan, James Wood, Ken Easley, Grant Pugh, Chris Chandler, Ricky Sanders, Gorman Thomas, Doug Wilson.
In victory lane with Chuck Leary, a rookie here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Your first national midget win in a heat, and how's it feel for you?
Feels good. We've been working on this car all year. We've been fast, and it seems like every time we have some problems, but we finally got it together so far tonight.
What do you think in the future you're going to be pretty strong?
Well, I think we'll be real strong the first 20 laps, and I'm running a softer tire tonight, but if it holds up, we may be there at the end.
Congratulations to Chuck Leary, back upstairs.
I have a feeling, Larry Rice, a lot of these crews are second-guessing their decision right now in the tire compound that they qualified with.
Well, I talked to Irish earlier, and he kept telling me that a lot of these guys were going to try to opt for a little bit softer tire tonight. He was trying to talk them out of it, and I think that his prognostication was right. I think those that chose a softer tire than they had been running definitely made a mistake, and I think that Stan Fox is going to be one of those guys that made a big mistake.
Oh, you're talking about Irish. I mean, Irish Saunders from Hoosier Tire is here to kind of oversee it and offer some advice on tire compounds, and some of the guys aren't listening this evening.
Well, it's very tough, you know, when you're running this thing, trying to get everything just right, make them fast early and fast later, and it's a tough decision.
All right, now as we take a look at the row assignments for heat race number 4, Jeff Sands and Ronnie Johncox in the front row. In the second row, we'll have Tracy Hines and Andy Michner. In row 3 on the inside, Stevie Reeves, your defending national midget champion, and Brian Gerster. We're riding with Brian right now in car 21, and Tony Stewart. We'll start alone in row 4. Now let us advise you right now, we've made a switch in our format. Because of the accidents and the damage in heat race number 1 for the Fastmasters, we have elected to forego the third heat race. So our final Fastmaster heat race will be the 10 laps on the modified road course.
Right, we'll do that after the semi-feature. So, having said that, this is Brian Gerster's in-car camera. This kid has really come a long way. He's just started running a Gertie. He ran a Volkswagen last year. This is his first year in a Gertie, and I think that Mike Bliss told me something that was really true. He says, to run Raceway Park, first you learn how to run it, then you learn how to run it fast, and then you learn how to pass here. And I think that this is what Gerster's trying to do. You can see the clutch handle waving around up there on the right-hand side. But I think that's where Gerster is right now. He's learned how to run it fast, but he hasn't learned how to pass yet. It's going to be very interesting when he catches up and really figures that part of it out.
And there's a look at the white number 9, the Steve Lewis Beast Gertie with Stevie Reeves, the defending national champion. Right now, second USAC midget points. In fact, he lost the lead last night. He actually lost a power plant, and they had to bring out a backup car for this evening.
I think the car he's driving now is usually the dirt car. I think that's not exactly the one they wanted to be running on the pavement. It's a bar car instead of a coil spring car, but he's doing quite well in it anyway, as he usually does.
Well, we'll also have some cameras mounted up on Andy Michner's car number 6, but we're about to go green as we take a look from inside the car of Brian Gerster. Off the 4th corner, we look for Brian Carey's green flag. There it is. And we are underway. Jeff Sands on the inside, and that red 62 takes the lead.
He does a good job of taking the lead.
Oh, somebody tried to make a move down to make it 3 wide. And there's a look back at Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart in the Raleigh Helmling car.
He started dead last. He's already up to 3rd spot, coming around for the first lap. So he made a heck of a move on there that we didn't quite see. That's Brian Gerster in the 21 car running second, trying to get into the lead, and Tony Stewart trying to get by both of them. But Sands has them both blocked right now.
Stewart looks to the low side, almost gets together with Gerster off the 2nd corner, and now he makes his move going into turn 3. Can he hold it down there?
Gerster's not going to give him an inch. He's going to make him do it the hard way if he's going to go around him. And, it looks like he's just about touched there, but that was close. Gerster made a little wiggle, and to avoid him, Tony Stewart had to pull way to the inside. Now Gerster does the inside.
Well, Gerster has to get by Sands. Gerster is right now being held up by Sands.
Well, they're both been held up by Sands a little bit. It looks like Gerster just made his first really nice pass that I've ever seen here at Raceway Park. That was good. He moved into first place.
We ride with Andy Michner now. He's tucked in behind Tracy Hines, and Hines makes a move to the low side to try to pick up a position. We go back to the front of the pack. Gerster out in front, and Tony Stewart rides in second. Stewart just won a USAC sprint car race last Sunday down at Salem. A triumphant return. The last time he was there, he went over the wall, as you may recall, in the Joe James Pat O'Connor race a year ago. He comes back and wins last Sunday, and now he's tucked in behind Gerster. The battle continues for the lead.
Well, we've talked about Tony Stewart before. He's a very smooth young race car driver, does a great job. And look at this battle for 4th spot. Man, Tracy Hines on the inside of Jeff Sands can't quite pull it off.
Tracy Hines driving the Rose Festival BMX entry tonight out of Richmond, Indiana. Look at that battle back there for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Remember, only 4 will transfer. Sands rides in 3rd. Tracy rides in 4th. We go back to the front of the pack.
We got so many battles, the cameras can't keep up with him, Gary. We see Stewart here. He's going to give him a big shot here. He's going to try to... Nope, didn't get far enough. You've got to get farther by them than that to be able to slide up in front of him and cut the racetrack off. He just didn't do it right then.
Stewart drives the Crystal Pepsi car of Raleigh Helmling, the car out of Vincennes, Indiana, and he looks to the inside, but once again, he's smoking that right rear.
Yeah, if he smokes that a few times, he's going to be falling back a little bit because the hotter that tire gets, the slower you go.
You talk about Gerster going to a different power plant this year. He also went to a different chassis. That's the Beast. In fact, that's a former Steve Lewis car that he's driving here, former white number 9.
There's the white flag, Gary. There's a lot of those former Steve Lewis cars that win races around here. They're going to stop selling those babies one of these days.
Well, there's a Steve Lewis car right there. There's a look at Stevie Reeves on the inside of Tracy Hines. And that is a battle for position. Third, fourth, fifth, and sixth all together. There goes, oh, hang on. They get together and their car in the wall. That is Jeff Sands. You can almost see something was going to happen.
Oh, that poor Jeff Sands. He drove one heck of a race, keeping his nose clean, running around there as fast as he could. He was just a victim of circumstances. They got 3 right in there. They ran out of room. A couple of cars bumped wheels. He was the man closest to the fence, and he's the one that got it.
Look at the damage to the right front of Jeff Sands, car number 62. He apparently is okay, just waiting for the emergency crew to arrive. And the checkered flag did fall at the same time that he made contact up there. So car number 21, Brian Gerster, takes the victory.
Look at this. Right here we see Tracy Hines on the inside of Sands. That's Stevie Reeves clear down on the inside. He tries to get by both of them, but as he gets down there, he doesn't have any place to go. He's got to slide up. He touches wheels just a little bit. I think all 3 of them hit almost at the identical same time. Jeff Sands was the closest to the wall. He got gathered up and really tore the right front of the car up. It's too bad. He was doing a nice job.
Gerster does take the victory, though, and Stewart goes to second as we watch them come off the corner for the checkered flag, and once again smoking that right rear, but Stewart cannot make the pass, and there is the victory going to Brian Gerster. Now, if Gerster, after winning this 4th heat, can win the feature this evening, there's an additional $1,000 from the Wins Challenge that will go to his pocket.
That's right. Mike Bliss won $2,000 by winning the feature a couple weeks ago from Wins, so they're all battling for that. Here we see it again. Once again, look at Stevie Reeves. He just drifts up the racetrack just ever so slightly. I think Tracy Hines was trying to steer away from him. They just about all 3 touched all at one time. It was just too many cars and too little space. That's all that was the matter there.
So those 4 drivers that will transfer from that as they are working in the crash area with Jeff Sands. And there is a look. He is okay, but the car badly damaged. But once again, Gerster takes the victory over Stewart and Reeves from Indianapolis Raceway Park.
No, I'm fine. We're going to a break, Jeff.
After you shave, now there's comfort to the power of 3. It's new Soothing Edge Aftershave with 3 soothing formulas for 3 specific skin types. An aloe formula that's alcohol-free to soothe sensitive skin. Extra moisturizers to soothe if your skin is dry. And a cool vitamin E splash for normal skin. Soothing better than ever with the power of 3. New Edge Aftershave skincare for men. Ultimate comfort. That's the Edge.
Burt Reynolds talks with the Quaker State team.
Hold on. I got to get my name on the car. My fans are getting restless.
No room.
How about on the big Q?
The big Q stands alone. Stands for quality.
You can't get better protection.
No other oil beats Quaker State.
How about right here?
No way. Red doesn't like to be crowded.
My fans are getting demanding.
All right. We'll go get the painter.
They must have had a hard time finding the painter. Nothing beats Quaker State. It's one tough motor oil.
Way to go, Bo. Nice job, Bo. Way to go. Way to go. Way to go. All right, Bo.
Almost there, Bo.
Almost.
And it's all yours.
You think you can do it?
Lipton Original. You can't wait to guzzle, gulp it, chug it.
It ain't hip to sip.
Lipton Original. This ain't no sipping tea.
I'd like to make a simple point about a gasoline additive called ProGuard. You see, without proper care, even new car engines accumulate deposits that can lead to a rough-running engine. Fortunately, there's a ProGuard. Added to a single tank full of gasoline, ProGuard's patented Tech-On chemistry begins cleaning deposits not only from fuel injectors, but throughout your engine's intake system for a noticeably smoother performance. ProGuard, for a smoother running engine.
Wow, what a great midget heat number 4 as Brian Gerster comes home a narrow winner over Tony Stewart. You take a look at the top 5, Reeves, Michener, and Hines rounding them out. Big crash on the last lap. For the update on that, let's go to Dave Wilson.
We're down here in the inside of turn number 4 with Jeff Sands. Jeff, a great race there, and just a racing accident, or what happened?
Yeah, we were racing hard, and
you know, we come in there hard, and he slid up on me, and, you know, that's racing. It was a racing accident. I probably should have backed off because it was the last lap and took the 4th and final position for the transfer to the feature, but that's the way it goes. You know, I'm fine. The car's hurt. That's the biggest deal because I'm the car owner, too, and that hurts. So we'll be back, though.
Well, at least you can't get fired. Anyway, back to you, Dave.
And back here we have a man deep in thought, but happy nonetheless to have scored his first national heat race victory. Congratulations, Brian Gerster. Great run.
Thank you very much.
Hold that thing right up in front of your mouth there and tell me what you had to do to hold off Tony Stewart. He threw everything he had at you.
Tony's a good driver. We've been racing against Tony since he was about 12 years old and I was 15. We ran go-karts together, and I know him and I trust him, so we're just trying to keep it fast and straight, keep the model mold machine company, J&M Precision Products. Let's see, VIP Marathon, Hoosier, Beast, Gertie car up there at the front.
Look how he slid those all right in there. You had a 6th place finish here earlier this year. What do you think the prospects are tonight for improving on that?
The main thing we need to do tonight is just run fast and finish. We broke a Heim, we've busted a mag, and we've dropped out of a few features, so we're just looking to stay in the top 5 and run as fast as we can, and we're going to start 8th, so if we can just improve on that and finish, we're going to be real happy with it.
One more quick one. Larry Rice made the observation that one of the keys here, after you learn to run fast, is to learn to pass on this racetrack. Is that coming to you?
It's coming kind of slow. We've been qualifying pretty good and starting in the back, and this is the first time we've got in the feature through our heat race this year, so we won a semi earlier in the year, but it's real nice to get to sit here and watch one for a change and not have to wear out the equipment and the driver.
We're going to let you get ready for the feature. We'll wish you good luck. Congratulations on a great run.
Thanks a lot. We appreciate it.
All right, a first heat race national win for Gerster. Meanwhile, well, somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to call them the Crash Masters. I suppose I might as well be the first, right? Fastmasters bringing together an incredible array of over 50 race drivers in $750,000 Jags, and boy, have they busted them up here tonight. Let's take a quick look, if you've just joined us, at what happened in the first Fastmaster heat. Jim McElreath in the middle figures, I got room. I'm going to shoot right up through there and get into contention. Instead, he got loose, and he looped it in front of Dick Trickle in the black car and Bob Aiken, who was nicked, but Trickle took the wild ride into the fence through victory lane, not the way he wanted to get there. Crunch, they hit again, and imagine the dollar damage. Here's what it looked like from on board. No contact to start it. The car got loose in the back, and around it went, and Trickle, who rushed down here from Michigan International Speedway, had nowhere to go. He thought he was going to victory lane tonight. He did, but not the way he planned. We restart the race. The move on the inside, the gray car, Troy Ruttman. He's got one spot. He's trying to get it reeled in and held down on that bottom line to pick up another position, but same problem. When the back end stepped out, there was no saving it. It looped. He's all over the brakes. I gotta keep this car out of the wall, but no. Got a little behind on the steering, as they say, and into the fence he went. Here's another look at it. He's down on the inside and makes the move on Allison, who's being very, very patient. Freddie Lorenzen says, "What's that on my left?" Ruttman is around and couldn't save it. And so, well, there's no tallying the damage here, but we have determined that we will need to make some changes in the plan. The big surprise, of course, Ed McCullough, the drag racer, pulls out the victory. Lorenzen and Allison drove it smart. The stock car stars held on for second and third. Bob Aiken, our road racing ace, and Jerry Grant, who has a fair amount of experience on the road courses, prepare for the second and now final Fastmaster Challenge heat. We'll be back.
This summer, you can have the best seat in the house for the hottest soccer under the sun. It's Copa America 93, and it's live on pay-per-view. Starting June 16th, you can watch 10 key matches of Copa America live in your living room, including every quarterfinal, semifinal, and the grand final on July 4th. And if you call your cable company now, you can order all 10 games for one incredible price. The best of Copa America is live on pay-per-view.
Music Show, King Limousine.
Hot summer nights. Wet and wild. Hot summer nights. Beginning Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern with the premiere of Masters Water Skiing, only on ESPN.
We're back at Indianapolis Raceway Park Saturday Night Thunder. What a wild night with the debut of the Fastmasters Challenge. Carnage among the Jaguars and great racing in the midget division. Everything we've always enjoyed on Saturday Night Thunder and so much more here tonight. Now, just to complete the story, once again, we will run the second challenge heat on the road course. But with 4 of the drivers already out, and in the interest of making this pure competition, and honestly wondering if we'd have enough cars to get through the third heat, the decision has been made. There will be no third combined oval and then to the road course heat, and I think that's going to be fair for everybody because ultimately this is a competition, isn't it? And we've answered one of the major questions. Just how hard are these guys going to charge in these cars? The answer, I think, is very hard indeed. One of the hardest chargers of all, and you've seen his moment here earlier tonight when he spun the car and tagged the wall, is Troy Ruttman. But he has been the happiest camper all weekend. So pleased to be back in Indianapolis, the scene of his greatest triumph. In 1952, Troy became the youngest Indy 500 winner ever at age 22, driving for J.C. Agajanian. That's appropriate. Troy's first taste of racing came just prior to World War II when he and his dad went to a track Aggie ran down the road from the Ruttman homestead. The kid was a pedal-stomping prodigy. He drove his father's street car, the one in the background, in the Ash Can Derby in San Bernardino when he was 15 years old.
We went to the racetrack, and Mr. Wilson was the promoter's name, and I said, gee, Mr. Wilson, I'd sure like to run this race. And he said, have you ever raced before? And I says, no. And he says, well, therefore, son, you just get in the front row. And I'm sure it was around a 30-lap race, and it dropped the flag, and away it went, and the dust flew, and I won the race, and it paid, I think, $24.
Well, making that kind of money, the kid could afford to quit his 2 jobs, running Western Union telegrams and working in an ice cream parlor. He became a full-time teenage racer. In 47 and 48, Troy charged to the California Roadster Association Championship, but success brought jealousy. The more he won, the more the other drivers asked, how old is this kid really?
When I raced for URA, they come to me, and the United Racing Association, which is a midget thing on the West Coast, they said, well, Troy, that's just fine, we hear this, but just bring us your birth certificate, and then we'll have this all settled. And which I was able to do. We had a little rework job done on it, and that got me by.
Troy's mom on the right was responsible for that rework.
I learned one thing. When you went to change a birth certificate, you had to have a typewriter that had the same kind of type that this birth certificate had, or it wouldn't match. If you put a different kind of typewriter to type it in, well, they could tell it'd been fooled with, you know. And so you had to be kind of on the ball to do that.
Well, being on the ball enabled Troy to survive, for example, this incident, one of many as he barnstormed across the country trying to make the bigs. 1949, age 19, he got his shot. Ray Carter invited him to drive his car at the 500. Troy's first race there resulted in a 12th place finish. 1952, the year it all came together for the young phenomenon. He started 7th in the Agajanian Special. It was quickly apparent Ruttman and the legendary Bill Vukovich had the strongest cars. But during a pit stop, Troy's machine caught fire during refueling. He refused to abandon ship, knowing if he bailed out of that flaming cockpit, his chance for the win would go up literally in smoke. The fire out, Troy roared off, trailing Vuki by 2 minutes.
The way I looked at it at that point, you know, you've heard the old saying, go for it. Well, to me, I don't know what saying I used in my little brain, but I thought if I've ever ran hard and tried hard, now is the time to put all the chips on. So then I remember I was passing cars with 2 wheels in the gravel, all kind of stuff, trying to make up that time. And I was running, I couldn't run any harder without crashing.
As the laps wound down, Ruttman had Vukovic in his sights. Would this be a race to the finish? The answer came 8 laps from the end when Vuki's steering broke. At the tender age of 22, Troy Ruttman drove into victory lane in the world's biggest race.
After the race was all over and all the hubbub and I'd won and so forth, we went back to the room and cleaned up and and went to bed. And during the night I woke up, I don't remember what time in the morning. It's all a true story. And I remember I was in the bathroom and I looked in the mirror and I thought, boy, I just really must have had a dream. Is this really real? And I'd say it was, you know, when it really soaked in for sure, it was the following morning and when we went to the banquet and so forth. It was tough to believe, you know, because it was a big thing to me. It's probably the biggest and greatest thing that ever happened to me in my life, bar none.
It was truly an incredible drive. He retired early, and a lot of people were surprised at that retirement. And Troy admitted to me earlier this morning that, yeah, he had a little trouble dealing with success. But now he is a very, very happy 63-year-old, so proud to be part of Fastmasters 1993. Let's go to Dave Wilson now and get an update on what's happening back over here in a very interesting pit area tonight. Dave?
Well, we're over here with it right now. And Gary Bettenhausen, you just watched that piece on Troy Ruttman. Had to bring back a lot of memories. Your dad, of course, raced with him back then. What were your feelings watching that?
Oh, it's great. I mean, I can remember I was 11 years old when Troy won the race. And if somebody would have told me at that time that I'd be racing against him someday, I would have never believed him.
Well, certainly a great time there. And, of course, your dad, you remember your dad telling you stories about Troy and racing against him, all those?
Well, I was pretty young, and I don't think my dad told too many stories about other race drivers. He, you know, racing was pretty dangerous back then, and he lost a lot of friends, and I think my dad tried to avoid becoming very good friends with a lot of the drivers.
Thanks for your time. We'll go back to Dave Despain. Thanks, Gary.
Hi, thank you very much. And Gary, our condolences for the mishap earlier that took you out of the competition. We have the midget semi standing by, and of course the second heat of the Fastmasters Championship coming up. They'll be making a left right down there in the middle of your screen and heading into the road course. It was wild yesterday, wilder last night. I can't imagine what it's going to be like. Hang on.
Bud Light, please.
Tonight's ladies' night, and there's a special on Bud Light.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Oh, no, it's Ted from accounting.
Burt Reynolds for Quaker State.
The big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will. You know, when it comes to protecting against friction, nothing beats Quaker State. When it comes to protecting against viscosity breakdown, nothing beats Quaker State. When it comes to keeping engines clean, nothing beats Quaker State. Take it from me, for unbeatable protection, nothing beats Quaker State. It's one tough motor oil.
The 93 Jaguar XJ6 at $549 a month. It's a dream come true. See your local Jaguar dealer for details. This offer is for a limited time only.
The Suzuki GSXRs. First, they win more road races than any production motorcycle in history. License plate on them. The new liquid cooled GSXRs, now available in 600, 750, and 1100 octane.
Despite all the controversy, Bobby Bonilla has been tearing up the league. He'll face his old team as the Mets battle the Pirates. Tomorrow night, live on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball.
The Jags thunder back next Saturday night with Fastmaster Benny Parsons, Pete Hamilton. Can this be David Hobbs? Bob Caveman Christie. Elmo Langley, the ever-smiling Brian Redmond, Tom Bigelow, George Ziggy Snyder, Donnie Allison, and Harry Gant. It's the Fastmasters Championship, round 2, next week on Saturday Night Thunder. And hey, Benny Parsons, if you get out of next week's competition, look who's waiting for you down the road. Bobby Unser, Paul Newman, David Pearson, Parnelli Jones, future Fastmasters that you'll see here on ESPN. Jasper, the Fastmaster, says, I could drive one of these midget cars if I could figure out how to get into it. The midget semi on the track for the starting lineup, Gary and Larry.
He had his backside in there, but not quite the way he's supposed to be. The front row, straight up. Johnny Parsons, the fastest qualifier that will be in this 12-lap semi. He'll start alongside Tice Carlson. In row 2, on the inside, we'll have Steve Barth in the yellow 14 and John Murphy outside in the yellow 2C. In the third row, on the inside, Kenneth Nichols. Surprisingly, didn't qualify all that well. Car 81, Jack running outside in the red 7. In the fourth row, on the inside, Tracy Hines in 7A, Norm Young outside in 11Y. And then it's Ronnie John Cox in 5J and Chris Malone in 7M. Rounding out the field alone, we have Brian Sievers in 23S. And I really think the guy you have to watch for in this race is that number 81 right there, the AL81. Nichols has won twice on this track this season, did not qualify all that well, and had the tire problem in the heat race.
Yeah, he did have some problems. I don't know exactly what happened in qualifying, and it may be, Gary, that he chose one of the harder tires, and he may be a lot better off come feature time than some of the other guys. So it's going to be very interesting. It's really a guessing game at this point.
Well, I think, too, as we talked about the VHT on the track, the sealant they put on that gave a little more grip, and so consequently some of these guys have chosen the wrong tire compound, and they are compelled to run the same compound in the race that they qualified on. The green flag flies, and we are racing a 12-lapper. The top 6 will transfer to our 30-lap main event, and Johnny Parsons, with that Vogler power plant, the white chassis out in front.
Boy, he jumped out to a big lead. Look at that. He's 7, 8, 10 car lengths ahead of everybody else. That's Carlson. That's Murphy in the yellow car trying to get under Carlson, getting into the corner, but couldn't quite do it.
Tice Carlson driving a car that is not his own. In the past couple of years, he's been driving the family car, but Eddie Griffith owns this particular piece chassis, and he's driving for someone else.
Right, and he's real loose in that race car. He moved to the bottom of the racetrack right there, and he's real loose. But Murphy doesn't seem to be able to gain a lot of him, and that's Barth in that second yellow car trying to gain on Murphy.
Well, Murphy is new to this cockpit as well.
Yeah, that's a different car for him. I think Trey House was supposed to drive it, and he may have gotten right here. But look at the Barth, right under Murphy, going in down the race straightaway. And here's the AL81 car, that green car back there, trying to move up, but he's not moving up nearly as quick as I thought he might.
Well, remember, the top 6 will transfer. He's riding his shift right now. He's peaking the green and white AL81 of Kenneth Nichols. Actually, he's had 3 wins so far this season. The first one coming at the Hoosier Dome Invitational back in January, and he's won twice on this racetrack this season. Good battle for second position. Parsons well out in front.
Steve Barth needs to be working real well. And you saw some sparks flying out of the right side of Parsons' car again. Whatever was causing the sparks the first time.
Well, there's a problem. There's a problem in Johnny Parsons' car.
He slowed way up. Whatever let go the first time has let go again this time, because he's going to go way back.
It may be a flat right rear, as he is headed for the infield right now to get out of the fast lane.
That's odd. That's the 3rd flat right rear tire we've seen here in the last 2 or 3 races. I don't know what's going on, but it sure cost John Parsons a place in the feature race.
Top 3 running right together through turn 3. They work on lap number 5. Remember, this is a 12-lap, the semi, the last chance race. 6 will transfer. Right now out in front is Tice Carlson, but he has all he can handle right now in Steve Barth.
Steve Barth's trying real hard to figure out a way to get around him. He can't quite figure it out, though. He runs in a little high, runs in a little low. He just can't quite get the measure of Carlson, who, after the first couple laps, seems to have really picked up his pace. I didn't think he was going to go that good there for a while, but he's really picked it up.
Parsons is in the pit area, Johnny Parsons, so he'll be a spectator for the feature this evening. As on the inside, we take a look at the AL81. Nichols into the Wiki car, tries to make the pass for position, makes it sick, he moves to 3rd.
Yeah, that was a very nice move. He got down on the inside, he held that line all the way through. As he came off the corner, he had enough space to move up and take the track away from John Murphy, and Murphy had to let him go.
He may be the fastest set of wheels out here right now as he looks to the inside of Barth.
Yeah, he looks to be, a little loose right there.
Oh, he almost got into Barth.
And it's close. You don't want to do that very often, I'll tell you.
That'll grit your teeth for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's running very quick, but he's got to be careful. You know, I think Freddie Lorenzo said a while ago, you got to finish to get in the feature. So
now he makes a move on the inside again. He has the position. Now he moves to second. He stays down low. Now he tucks in behind Tice Carlson coming off the second quarter. They're working on lap number 9.
Carlson's running a fairly tight line. He's running right in the middle of the racetrack. It makes it very difficult to go by him on the inside or on the outside. Everybody seems to want to go down on the inside, but he's blocking him pretty effectively right now.
And look at Barth right there. He wants a piece of the action again. 9 laps complete, 3 laps to go.
Well, Steve Barth's running a great race. Tice Carlson's running a good race. He's doing exactly what he's got to do. He's using up the racetrack, using the groove so that nobody can get around him. And Kenneth Nichols just does the same. Here's the way.
That wasn't wise on Tice Carlson's part.
Well, once he got a little loose, he may have lost the momentum. But still, Nichols just wasn't quite quick enough getting into the corner to get around him.
Tice is sliding a lot. Oh, he was slow coming off the corner and almost got booted in the tamper there.
Everybody seems to want to run real low. I don't understand why nobody's taking the high groove. Look how low they are on the racetrack. They're clear down below that white line on the inside.
White flag, 1 lap to go. The battle is still in the front of the pack. Tice Carlson leads. Then it's Ken Nichols. Then Steve Barth.
Steve Nichols got a big diamond on him right there. He went way up high, right in the middle of the racetrack like we just talked about. Got a big shot coming off that corner and just threw him by him like he was screwed to the racetrack.
Well, so the ALA1 car of Kenneth Nichols will take the victory. 2 cars together coming off the corner.
I think that was Steve Barth, wasn't it?
Barth in the 14 car. We're trying to get an ID on the other car down there that's up against the wall. There's another car up against the wall there coming off the 4th corner.
I can just see Barth out at the very end of the screen as we were coming off there. Saw him start to get sideways, and it looked like he's going to be able to correct.
Jack Runyon is in the other car, the 7R car, up against the outside concrete wall. He is okay. He's climbing out of the car, and Barth is still in the cockpit of his car.
We're going to see a replay here, Gary, as we see. This is Barth. I think he's running in about 3rd position at this point in the race. He just got real sideways. He went in there real hard, tried to collect it, went up the other way, hit Runyon. Runyon had no place to go, up over Runyon's wheel, slid back into the fence, and then back down in front of the racetrack.
This has been a costly weekend for the Runyon family because he got upside down with the car last night at Bloomington, Indiana.
Well,
about an hour south of here.
Certainly no fault of his right there. He was just caught in and that's a brand new race car too. But Barth lost the rear end. As it came back around, it overcorrected, started up the racetrack, and he ran right into the 7R car and put Jack Runyon into the pits.
Well, one of the guys that unfortunately will not be a part of the feature, Johnny Parsons, and he is standing by with Dave Wilson.
That's right, Gary. We're with a frustrated JP. JP, what's going on?
Well, we just keep getting flat tires. You know, the right rear twice. It cost us being in the race. The left front with the Mortgage Group of America car is really running good. The Vogler engine's strong. And we want to thank Statewide Credit for being with us as a sponsor, but we just bad luck tonight.
Well, good luck in our next race. We're back up to you, Gary.
So the victory will go to Ken Nichols. Unfortunately, Johnny Parsons, the veteran midget sprint and Indy driver, will not be a part of our feature this evening, but these drivers will be because they transferred from the last chance race. Kenneth Nichols takes the victory over Tice Carlson, Tracy Hines, John Murphy, and Norm Young, and they'll get ready for the feature. And coming up next, the second heat of the Fastmasters on the modified road course.
My truck has 99,000 miles on it, and it's like a brand new engine.
America is talking about split fire.
I feel like I have a new engine.
No hesitation. You hit your passing gear, you're gone. Right now.
Split fire won a United States patent. It doesn't look like any other spark plug. It doesn't work like any other spark plug.
I love them.
I have them on my motorcycle, my boat, and my car.
Love them. Love them.
Split fire. At $5.99, America knows it only costs more till you use it.
I can say I've saved at least $3 to $4 a week.
I use the lower octane now. It seems like it runs like I had the premium in there.
I'm probably getting, I would say about 20 miles more per tank full, and that's a lot for me.
They'll pay for themselves, basically, in the first 6 months you own them.
Split fire. It only costs more till you use it.
Get guaranteed split fire savings at leading automotive stores from coast to coast.
After you shave, now there's comfort to the power of 3. It's new Soothing Edge Aftershave with 3 soothing formulas for 3 specific skin types. An aloe formula that's alcohol-free to soothe sensitive skin. Extra moisturizers to soothe if your skin is dry. And a cool vitamin E splash for normal skin. soothing better than ever with the power of 3. New Edge Aftershave skincare for men. Ultimate comfort. That's the Edge.
In America, your car is not just something you own. It's a part of your life. To give your car complete protection, Texaco has developed Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. With not one, but 3 kinds of protection against heat stress, starting friction, and engine dirt. Haviland Formula 3. Add more life to your car.
Kenneth Nichols has earned a trip to the feature tonight as Speed World brings you the USAC midget action from here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Okay, Johnny Parsons has 2 flat tires, but you can top that tonight. You're going to the main, but tell me your flat tire story tonight.
We had 2 flats in hot laps, so we never really found the hot setup and qualified terrible. Then we went out in a heat race, and darn if we didn't have another flat. So
what's
came in here,
on?
I don't know. We've not had flats like this ever. We had a flat when we came in for the end of the semi.
When you had the 4 tires on the car, you were hooked up great. That was a fine pass coming out of 2 to take the lead.
Yeah, the car was really working super. We didn't want to take a chance on our good tires, so the tire we had on the right rear was the tire we won with last week. So it was an old tire, but it still brought us through.
Another quick one, strategy for the main event. Can you win this thing tonight? We've had 2 wins here this year already. Can you win 3?
For the grace of God, anything's possible. We really like to race, and they just stuck a big carrot in front of us, and we got these green sensing shoes here that's going to help us pedal even faster.
Well, you get out there and pedal her into victory lane tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Kenneth Nichols wins it with a great drive and a great pass off turn 2 and is hoping no more flats for the feature. Well, we have brought here to Indianapolis Raceway Park tonight some of the greatest drivers in the history of American motorsports, and this is just the first 5th of the Fastmasters field. A total of 50 drivers will have a shot at it before it's all done. A terrific amount of research went into assembling all the biographical material and the rest that enables us to let you know what these guys are all about. And Donald Davidson, the historian of all time in motorsports, loves research. He's done his reading. Donald?
We're more than familiar with the accomplishments of the racing drivers in the Fastmaster series at the various racetracks around the world, including here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but we wanted to know a little bit more about their personal lives, so they were asked to fill out these questionnaires. Amongst the questions that they were asked was, who was your greatest hero and or influence, and who's the best racing driver you ever saw? Bob Bondurant had the same answer to both questions. 5-time world champion Juan Manuel Fangio. Bob Aiken, best race driver you ever saw. Hans Stuck. Bobby Allison, greatest influence. Bobby Johns was one, and also Red Farmer. Red Farmer, he's still racing. Benny Parsons, greatest influence. Fred Lorenzen. Fred Lorenzen, greatest influence. Fireball Roberts and Curtis Turner. And also a note about Fred's first race. Demolition Derby at Soldier Field, Chicago. He finished first place and he was 15 years old. This one surprised us. Ed the Ace McCulloch. Greatest influence? Don Garlett? No. At age 8 or 10, I would go watch Bill Vukovich Sr. race midgets, and I knew I wanted to drive race cars. Now, who would ever have guessed that Ed the Ace McCulloch had even heard of Bill Vukovich Sr.? Interesting reading.
There it is. There's the secret for the Ace, the winner of the oval track competition and now preparing for the road course. Ace's hero was Vukovich, and he went out here tonight emulating his hero and surprised everybody in his $750,000 Jag. He's ready to fire it up again as we move to the road course second heat of the Fastmasters Championship, only on ESPN.
Holyfield wants his title back. First, Holyfield has to beat the destroyer, Alex Stewart. John Molina fights to keep his world title in Puerto Rico. Manuel Medina wants to bring the title back to Mexico. Paz beat the broken neck. Can he survive two-time world champion Hunnigan? Holyfield Stewart. Molina Medina. Pazienza Hunnigan. Only the strong survive.
Ford is the people's choice in America. 5 of the 10 best-selling vehicles are built by Ford. And Williamsport is the people's choice in Connecticut with huge discounts on all remaining 93s. Like a new Escort LX wagon, not $12,000, just $95.95. $95.95. Or a new Taurus GL, not $17,000, just $14,395. Over 390 new vehicles, including Explorers, all specially priced. Come to Williamsport and see how much you'll save. Williamsport, the only name a smart Ford buyer needs to know.
Back at Indianapolis Raceway Park, huge crowd gathered here tonight. They have come to see their heroes of the past in action in these magnificent cars, and we're about to get back to that action. Will you look at the Thunderheads gathered here tonight at IRP, and what they're about to see should truly be spectacular. We made a little modification in the 5/8 mile oval here. Hello, sweetheart. We're so glad you're a Thunderhead. The drivers are out warming up now for an unusual format. They're going to come down, take the green flag, make a lap on the oval, and then just short of turn 1, they'll turn into the infield road course where things will get exciting. That is Bobby Allison making his return to competition after his horrible crash 5 years ago this date. Think of the irony at Pocono. All right, let's go up topside, guys. This ought to be good.
All right, the starting lineup once again inverted on points, which means the driver that won the last 10-lapper, Ed the Ace McCullough, starting dead last in this one. The front row, well, all the road racers, Larry, are up front. Dick Greer and Jerry Grant in the front row. In the second row on the inside, Bob Aiken. There's Bobby Allison in number 3. And the third row on the inside, we will have car number 7. That's Fred Lorenzen, the stock car. And Ed McCullough will start outside. Well, if you're just joining us, we lost a few. Gary Bettenhausen from practice yesterday. Troy Ruttman crashed. McElreath crashed. And Trickle was also involved in Bettenhausen, of course, did not start because he crashed yesterday. So we should have 4 more cars in this event.
Yeah, we should have had 4 more cars, but it's still going to be a good race. It's going to be very interesting to see if some of these guys in the back can work their way up around the road racers.
Once again, as we ride with Bobby Allison now, they will get the green flag the next time by. This 10-lapper will be on a modified road course. However, the first lap will be taken on the oval. They will not score that lap, but that gives them a chance to spread out just a bit because we were concerned with all these guys diving that sharp left-hand corner and tearing up all the cars.
Exactly. So they're going to give them 1 positioning lap, 1 lap around the racetrack. Boy, look at this. They're fighting already. They're starting right away. They're not waiting. Grant's going to try to get him. And look at Aiken. He's on the outside of Grant.
Now, once again, they will take this lap on the oval. This lap will not count. Then they will take 10 laps on the modified road course.
Aiken's right around. And look at Allison. He's on the outside. He's following Aiken on the outside. Man, oh, man. He couldn't quite get him. That's Aiken in the silver car. Allison followed him and Grant in the 5 car. Greer holds the lead, though.
A couple of road racers up in front. Greer, now they will go to the road course. Now watch, they'll on the brakes hard and a tight left-hand turn right here. Oh, no! Somebody gets rear-ended. That was Allison that got rear-ended. Allison continues on. He's in the dark green number 3 car. There's the infield section. They take that right-hander, shift up to second. Off that corner, a tight left-hander onto turn 2 now, and they upshift to third as the turbo kicks in.
You got that thing a little around there, but as long as he makes the course, he can keep going. He doesn't lose a lap. Looks like Grant, he's slowed down. When you penalize the lap, when you miss the road course, I think that's what happened to Jerry Grant. So he's down a lap and for all practical purposes out of the competition.
Well, you can see the damage to the front of his car. Part of that from the first heat race and off the right corner from this heat race. Well, the dust is flying down there through that modified infield section as Jerry Grant pulls behind the pit wall, and he will not be one of the 2 drivers to come back for our championship on the 21st of August. But look at this, Dick Greer, the 61-year-old from Columbus, Ohio, didn't even start racing till he was 50 years old. Had a very successful construction business, didn't have time to race.
He's pulled out to a pretty good lead. Bob Aiken in the silver car still running in second position, and that's Ed McCullough, the guy who never turns a race car, already up to third spot.
He has been most impressive this weekend, and he's been smart. He worked up to it. He didn't go too fast too soon.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He took everything in time. There we see
Bobby's working hard. This car turns a little quicker than a Winston Cup car.
Yeah, Bobby got kind of messed up on that first little altercation down there. He's still trying to catch up from that.
Well, now it would look like maybe on the points, at this point, Aiken would go to our champion. Oh, look at that. Oh, he couldn't make it. Greer almost got nailed by Aiken.
There's smoking tires running through the dirt, man. These guys don't care whether these are $750,000 cars or not, man. They're racing.
Well, Ed the Ace McCullough right now back there in third, but he on the points would take the championship right now this evening and would transfer to the overall championship on the 21st of August. But right now we have to determine who is going to go with him. Now Aiken tries the high side coming through 4. Now he looks to the inside. They're under braking. See the brake smoke?
Look at McCullough. He's going to try the outside, getting into the corner. Couldn't quite pull that off. I tell you what, that McCullough is really impressing me. He's caught on this road racing real quick.
Bobby Allison is back in 4th position right now. 5 laps down, 5 laps to go. They run the oval in 3rd gear. They'll go through that infield section in 1st.
Yeah, that's the reason you see that back end kick out as they go around those dog legs. That turbocharger kicks in. Here we're going to see Aiken. He's going to try on the outside again, and then he tries on the inside, but never quite enough.
Oh, hang on, Ed, hang on. Don't lose it all right now.
Boy, oh boy.
All Ed has to do is finish 3rd, and he'll come back on the 21st to race for $100,000.
Allison, I'll tell you what, he's gained a lot of ground on these guys. He was way, way back there after that altercation, and he's come back to within about a half a straightaway up, but I don't think he's going to have enough time.
Remember, 10 points to the victor, 9 points for 2nd, 8 for 3rd, on down to the balance of the field. But right now, Ed the Ace McCullough would be coming back on the 21st. The battle right now is for the 2nd driver that will come back. We'll have 10 drivers for the overall championship in August.
That was Bobby Allison we were looking at. Here's the battle for the lead, though, Gary. Those are the first 3, and that's Bobby Allison, that 4th car we just saw go through the bottom of the screen.
Well, Allison is really picking up ground, but he's running out of laps. They're working on lap 8. Lap 7. They're working on lap 7 of a 10-lap race. But Bobby is really closing down, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to really challenge for 3rd position.
Now, let's watch him go through 3 and 4 here. This is 3 and 4 corners that he's working his way through here. You can see he's really concentrated. He's really working that steering wheel, trying to get down.
Oh, spin down in the 1st corner. Dick Greer, your leader, spins going into the 1st turn. He was leading. He will drop to the back of the pack. What a costly spin for Dick Greer. Greer had 5 points from the 1st heat. He would have had 10 points for winning here and would have stood a chance to go on, but now the yellow flag flies because he's blocking the racetrack down there. Greer is trying to get the gear and get out of harm's way. Oh, what a costly mistake for the 61-year-old construction executive from Columbus, Ohio.
Well, this is going to make things very, very interesting here, Gary. We now have Aiken leading. We have McCullough in 2nd place and Bobby Allison right behind them. So
and they're under yellow, so they can bunch up.
Sure they can.
Allison got 8 points for finishing 3rd the last time. He's in 3rd right now. So Aiken, by virtue of his 4th place finish, had 7 points. If he wins this one, they give him 17. Boy, I don't know. We'll let the mathematicians take care of all that. I'm not going to confuse anybody.
I have enough trouble telling which one's number 7 and which one's number 5, let alone all that other stuff. But this will make it very close competition. It's going to make it with, what, 2 laps to go, 3 laps to go. Everybody's going to bunch up. See, these road racers, they don't understand the full course yellow.
No, they don't. They're just out there running around.
Still going, that's right.
They're looking for a corner marshal to wave that yellow flag down there. Now, keep in mind that McCullough rides in 2nd. Now, what strategy does he play out? Does he just stay right there and not take any chance of maybe cooking it in and spinning it?
Well, I think that's the only strategy he can use right now. He knows that he is in the catbird seat. He's the guy that can make this thing for sure. All he's got to do is maintain his position, so he can't afford to make a mistake, and he can't afford to let the guys in front or in back of him make mistakes. So he's got to drive fairly defensively and just try to hold his position right now. Bob Aiken, on the other hand, he's got to watch the two guys behind him, and Allison, I think he's going to have to try to gain a position. If he gains a position, then he makes it. So
Allison has to gain a position. Allison will have to gain a position to make it, because right now, if Aiken wins it, he would have 17 points to Ed's 19 if Ed finishes second. And if Allison finishes third, he would have 16 by virtue of 2 third-place finishes.
So he needs one more point.
Did you take notes on all that? We'll have a quiz.
No, I'm not going to try to take notes. But it's going to be interesting, because Allison is the guy right now who needs to gain a spot. He is really the one. Greer, I don't think, even if he gains a spot or two after he lost the lead, can win.
Well, he had to win this thing to have a shot at it.
So it's between the first 3 guys in this race as to who's going to make the $100,000 feature, and it's going to be up to Allison to try to prove his position.
All right, do we see the furled flag this time from starter Bill Carey? No, we don't. Now, keep in mind, Aiken is in his element. He is the gear shifter here. That's his background. Obviously, it's not the background for the ace, because he goes straight. It needs a parachute to stop. There's no parachute on this Jag.
I'm going to tell you something. You're going to have a whole bunch of trouble convincing anybody that's racing against that guy today that he doesn't know how to drive a road course or
I didn't say that. I said his background was going straight. I didn't say he couldn't do it.
I didn't mean to correct you, but I tell you, he's done a fantastic job.
You know, the GTE Frontrunner Award will present $1,000 to the driver that leads the most laps today in each of the 5 preliminaries, and for the championship on the 21st of August, the driver that leads the most laps will collect $2,500 additional dollars.
Well, I'll tell you, Gary, there's a couple of real Fastmasters that aren't here tonight, and I want to say hello to them. Bobby Grimm is very seriously ill in the IU Medical Center here in Indianapolis, and I know that a couple of years ago he'd have been out there banging wheels with the best of them, loving every second of it, so I want to say hello to him, wish him well. I also want to say hello to Gene Harley, who just had a heart operation up in Fort Wayne, too. Both those guys, great racers, and they're every bit as deserving to be here as the guys that are here, but just unfortunately can't be.
Once again, Bob Aiken out in front. Ed McCullough rides in second, the black number 8. Then it's Bobby Allison, the green number 3. And Dick Greer, no, it's Fred Lorenzen in the yellow and the silver 7. Then it's Greer in the dark 6. All right, we should go green this time. And I'll tell you, he's not wasting any time picking up the throttle. Aiken brings him off the corner from upstate New York, the road racer. And right behind is Ed the Ace McCullough. All right, lap 8 begins. The hard left, downshift, down to first gear.
Look at Allison. He was 3 or 4 car lengths behind those guys going into the corner. He outbraked both of them getting in there. Wow.
You think it's all coming back for Bobby?
I think he's back, man. Looks pretty good to me.
You think he might take a look at that Winston Cup car and say, let's go for a ride?
Well, I don't know about that, but look at the Ace. He's going to go.
Oh, now, watch it now.
Oh, man.
Oh, man, that was a gutsy move on his part.
He doesn't have to do that.
It's a gutsy move. He's going to take the extra $1,000 for leading the most laps here.
He certainly is unbelievable.
Now let's check out the braking here. Tight braking, downshift to first gear. Through the right-hander. Up to second gear, about right here. A belch of the flames.
Every drag racer in America is jumping up and down for joy right now, let me tell you.
Bruce Pendragon, his Team McDonald's teammate, is watching from the pit area, and he is going to win both of these races. Who would have bet on that?
I tell you, when he was first invited, there were actually people that said, well, that's not, you know, he doesn't really have a fair chance. Why are you doing that? Well, I'll tell you what. Yeah, Don Prudhomme asking, why are you going to embarrass yourself? My gosh, look at this. Look at Allison, though.
Now the snake is saying, well, maybe I want to go run.
That's right, that's right. Make sure we get all them guys out here. Allison's going for it, though. He had one last chance. He couldn't outbreak him, but this is his last straightaway. Can he do it?
All right, off the corner, down the backstretch. We look at Bobby Allison, his return after 5 years back in the cockpit. The win will go to Ed, the Ace McCullough. He will win both of our 10-lap heats here. The battle for second. Bob Aiken will take second. Bobby Allison will take third. Now figure up the points.
Unbelievable. I think it was a tremendous race. You got to give those guys a lot of credit. You got to give Allison a lot of credit. Even though he didn't win one of the races, get back in there competing and being as tough as he was. Ed McCullough, who won both of them, is just unbelievable. Aiken, of course, a little more in his element on the road course than he was on the oval. Did a great job. I'm thrilled to death, and I think the man, they'll all be thrilled too.
I'm not a mathematician, but do we have a tie for second?
That's what I thought.
Is it possible that we have two drivers with 16 points, both Aiken and Allison? As Aiken finished second, which would pick up 9 points. He picked up 7 points for his first. That would be 16. Allison took third in both heats for 8 apiece. That's 16. But I was never strong in math, so I'm gonna let all the mathematicians back in the truck handle all that. They can tell us. We'll take a commercial break and come back and figure out who's going to come back with the championship on the 21st. We take a look at the results of heat race number 2 at the modified road course. And the ace wins it over Bob Aiken, Bobby Allison, Fred Lorenzen, and Dick Greer. We're coming back with the USAC Midgets. Stay with us.
Why use Valvoline motor oil? It's the #1 choice of Indy 500 chief mechanics, Daytona 500 chief mechanics, NHRA mechanics, and Baja 1000 mechanics. For use in their race cars and in their own cars. Any more questions? People who know use Valvoline.
Okay, 3 reasons not to buy BF Goodrich TA tires. The only hairpins you're comfortable with are the ones your grandmother uses. You get white knuckles on a dime store pony. You think 55 miles an hour is quite fast enough, thank you. BF Goodrich TA tires when you're ready to get serious.
Come on, let's get a cold one.
Our total attendance for today's game.
Would you look at this beer line? I'm going to go back. What? Foul ball? No, I'm not.
Foul ball! Foul ball! Out of the way! I got it!
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down,
Make it 2 Bud Lights, please.
make it a Bud Light.
Hey, you got another ball?
This is not a test. It's not even a quiz. But it is an emergency. GSXRs are attacking, wreaking havoc in Daytona, Laguna Seca, and other strategic points around the country. You are instructed to go to your Suzuki dealer and get a GSXR for no money down. Repeat, no money down. But hurry, the end is near.
Well, it's over, and it was wild. The Fastmasters Championship, ladies and gentlemen. And the winner, we've already told you what a huge surprise it is. He just did a spectacular job. The proposal is already being discussed. Let's have an NHRA National, not over there on the drag strip, but here on the oval and on the road course. What an amazing performance for Ed the Ace McCulloch. 20 points, the total. Bob Aiken ahead of Bobby Allison. The race for second and third, and the second leg was the tiebreaker. Lorenzen also involved in the tie. Aiken will get the nod and will move on to the Fastmasters Championship finale. There he is, happy man. A lot of us thought when he drew the pole for the oval race, and given his road course skills, that he'd be tough tonight. So Aiken's performance is not a complete surprise. The performance of Ed the Ace McCulloch is truly remarkable. And he has arrived, ladies and gentlemen, here in Victory Lane. Let's welcome Ed the Ace McCulloch, the winner of tonight's Fastmasters Challenge. Congratulations.
Thank you. You know, it's just, like I said before, it's great to be able to participate in this. And, you know, the caliber of guys that we're running out here, you know, I mean, they're a great bunch of guys, and what a deal. I've never had so much fun in all my life.
Okay, we all absorbed the shock, the big surprise of you winning on the oval track. You come back and went for it. You didn't have to have that pass for the lead after the yellow flag. Were you calculating points in your mind, or were you just being a racer and going after it?
If you have a point, if you have a position and you can pass it, I guess it's just the instinctive blood you got to pass. So, you know, I mean, maybe it was smart, maybe it wasn't, but I saw an opportunity to go around. I said, let's go.
Hey, when you win, you did it just exactly right. How does this rank? You've won a lot of races and battled for championships. This moment, this emotion, how does it compare?
Well, to me, there's nothing like winning the NHRA U.S. Nationals, and I've done that 6 times. But this rate's right up there, and I mean, the caliber of guys that we were running with out here, and I know that, you know, maybe they're not what they used to be, but maybe neither am I. If I'd have started earlier, maybe I'd have been better, but this is great. Just really enjoyed it.
I think you could make a great road racer. The man who's eager to shake your hand is John Crawford. He is the Vice President of Public Relations for Jaguar, and I'll tell you what, the public affairs involving this thing have been spectacular. It's been all over the media, John. There's been so much talk about it, and here's the man who stands as champion.
Well, congratulations, Ed. I really think you did a great job. Slow and steady won it for a while there, but you made a good break. And on behalf of Haviland and Jaguar and everybody connected with the Fastmasters, we'll see you in the final. Congratulations.
We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
A great drive for Ed McCullough, and the congratulations from Jaguar. Let's hear from the second-place man, Bob Aiken. He's standing by with Dave Wilson.
Bob, you had to stand on the binders a couple of times. A whale of a drive out there. The smile on your face tells the story, though.
Well, the car, my hat's off to the car, and these are the strongest race cars ever built. When I had Dick Trickle bounce off me in the first heat and put a big ding in the side of the car and probably upset the suspension and the brakes, but to be able to go right back out and race it again is incredible. And the car was pretty darn good, and you know, I really just kind of tried to stay out of trouble, and everybody else got into trouble. So
how did Ed get around you?
Well, he got around me because he drives faster than I do. I mean, he came up behind me, got a great start, came up behind me, and took the right line through the turn 3 and just got by me, and there was no way I was going to hold him off.
Well, a real happy Bob Aiken, second-place finisher in this heat of the Fastmasters.
Well, the Thunderheads got their nickels worth tonight at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Bobby Allison's return to racing, an incredible upset by Ed the Ace McCullough, and the midget main event still to come. Stick with us.
Dear Midas, after getting an outrageous estimate at my dealer, I came back to your shop. Your mechanics,
John, Jim, Ron, Robert,
gave me a free estimate, stayed late to finish the job, and even pointed out that my brake pads were under warranty, saving me a lot. I was so thankful for not being taken advantage of. I bought them all lunch the next day. Thank you, Sarah Acco.
No matter how tough you think you are, one opponent can bring you to tears. Sunscreen in your eyes. Fortunately, there's Coppertone Sport. Ultra sweat-proof. Won't run in your eyes to sting you. Protects all day. Coppertone Sport. For those who don't take the sun lying down.
Why use Valvoline Motor Oil? For their race cars and their own cars, Valvoline is the #1 choice of race mechanics from Indy 500 to Daytona 500 to NHRA to Baja to SCCA.
The time has finally come for the cordless power roller from Wagner. Now you control the flow of paint, so the Wagner power roller can cut jobs in half. Smoothly and evenly, it can cover areas twice as fast. And cleanup is a snap, so you can finish one job and do another. Get your hands on a real value, because the value of Wagner keeps on rolling.
Well, the sign says a great deal. All of us at ESPN are very, very proud of the accomplishment here tonight of Bobby Allison, who returns to competition and gave it a heck of a run out there. Came home third. I congratulated you. You said, well, not quite good enough. You can't be too disappointed.
Well, I'm not disappointed. Not too disappointed, but I did want to get that
other little spot up in there to be able to go ahead and move on. But the event's going to be really super. A lot of people are going to have a good time, and the fans, I think, will really love it.
The thing is off to a great start, a wild start here tonight. Did you have any moments when you thought, boy, this is a little bit out of hand, maybe I made a bad call getting back in the cockpit?
Well, not really. I didn't. I saw a couple things go on. I was fortunate that I missed one of them there that, you know, got pretty bad, I guess, behind me. And then the start of the road course race got bumped around a little bit. But, you know, it's good competition, and it's a bunch of guys that really still have a lot of self-confidence and a lot of pride in what they've done and are working hard to do a good job.
I don't think anybody here is more proud than this man standing on the left. Davey Allison, this is such a great family story and has been for so many years. What'd you think of the old man's performance tonight?
Well, I'll tell you, he's still my hero. I think he did a great job, and it was real exciting. He recovered real good from the incident at the start of the road course event and went on to finish third. And, you know, to have 2 third-place finishes tonight is a pretty outstanding accomplishment, too.
And you were all set to file a protest over the tiebreaker, right?
Yeah, I think that this is not fair here. He was the most consistent of the two, and you eliminated one event on us, but I think he did a great job. Everybody did a great job, and I think it's a great event for all the guys to come back out and share a little fun and some excitement, and we're already looking forward to next year.
You con man, you even got your sponsor's name on the cars here, didn't you?
I'll tell you what, I'm really proud that Texaco has jumped in here with Haviland, and you know, they've been a great sponsor for us, and I think they'll be a great sponsor for the series.
Well, I'll tell you what you got to do now. You got to get us A.J. Foyt and Mario Andretti as a result of that. I've got something here, Bobby, that comes from the heart from all of us involved in putting this program together. It says, Bobby Allison, congratulations on your return to competitive racing. Your dedication, perseverance, and hard work prove that no obstacle is too great to overcome. That comes from the staff and management of all of us at Fastmaster with our very warm congratulations and welcome back.
Well, Dave, thank you so much, and that really does mean an awful lot to me. It's been a long, hard road, but, you know, Judy's helped me a bunch, and lots of people have helped me a bunch, including all of you and all of your guys.
I'll tell you what, we share his sentiments. You're our hero, too. Welcome back. Bobby Allison returns to competition here in the Fastmasters Championship for 1993. Well, we've got a whole lot more yet to come. Fastmasters is history for tonight. Round 2 next week. And the Midget Championship up and coming next. It's main event time.
Question, how can you equip your new Newman Chevrolet car or truck with the extra options you want, like a rear step bumper, bed liner, or sunroof at no additional cost? Answer, Chevy Bucks. Yes, come into Newman Chevrolet Geo, pick out a select new 93 car or truck, and get 300 Newman Chevrolet Bucks to put towards the extra options you want. That's right, 300 Newman Chevy Bucks for the extra options you want. What a great idea. Only at Newman Chevrolet Geo, your first price, best price dealer on Connecticut Boulevard, East Hartford.
At Tires Plus Wheels, we give you the guaranteed lowest price up front. On all custom wheels and name brand tires. Let's compare.
Tires Plus wheel prices compared to Town Fair Tire and BJ's Wholesale. And as always, you get all our free services.
Tires Plus Wheels in Hartford South End, open 7 days a week.
One of the most memorable World Heavyweight Championship fights in history. Undisputed, undefeated, undersized heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield slugged it out with #1 contender Riddick Bowe. A great battle to a controversial finish. Who really won? Judge for yourself. Thursday on the ESPN.
Hey, how about this? Bonilla versus Bell in the Battle of the Bats. It's baseball on Sunday night on ESPN. Check it out tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. The Mets versus the Pirates. That ought to be a good one. And this is as big a crowd as we've seen for a Saturday Night Thunder race in years. And have they seen an exciting Fastmasters debut here this evening. Meantime, down trackside, Roger McCluskey.
Two of us need to tell these guys, gentlemen, start your engine.
All right, Bobby Bobby Allison and Roger McCluskey share the moment, the command to fire the engines for tonight's midget feature. We had great heat race competition to get these guys in. A lot of questions and concerns about tires. Mystery flat tires all over the place have knocked out some of our front runners. Kenneth Nichols has had 4 flats tonight, but still managed to put it in the feature. Who knows what's going to happen as we push him off, fire him up, and get set to drop the green on the final race of the night. Fastmasters Championship is history for round 1. Benny Parsons and David Hobbs, a couple of our broadcast buddies, come back here next week for Saturday Night Thunder round 2 from IRP. But right now the focus is on these cars and these drivers as they prepare to go for the championship main event victory here tonight. And I'll tell you what, Garrett and Lair, after the qualifying runs, Hettinger a good example. Terrific racing, not only for the lead, but also for the transfer spot. And given what we've seen here all season so far, I got to think this is going to be pretty good.
I would think that common sense will play a major role here, Larry, because they have to conserve the old tire. We've said before, you go fast enough to win, but slow enough to conserve all your equipment.
Well, it's going to be very interesting to see who chose what tires. As I said earlier, I think the guys who chose the softer tire are going to be in a little bit of trouble. I really think Jim Hettinger right now is in a very, very good position, along with Tony Stewart and Mike Bliss. They all start up front.
Reminds you of the old Roadster days where they started from the front of the car. That is Stan Fox trying to get his beast Gertie underway, and they get going, and he is underway. Our heat races were won by Perry Younts, and Stan Fox won 1. Chuck Leary. Brian Gerster also was victorious in heat race number 4, and Ken Nichols transferred through the semi.
Yeah, I tell you, they all did a good job. This is going to be a very interesting race, though, because I don't think with this VHT on there, there's going to be a lot of guys coming from very far back. I think Fox and Reed back in about the 5th, 6th row, that's about as far back as you're going to hope to be able to come up through there, I think.
Explain for the race fan exactly what the sealant can do.
Well, this VHT sealant that they put on the racetrack, really it's just like stepping on sticky Kool-Aid on your kitchen floor. You know, that's what it really does. It helps adhere the tires to the racetrack. They tried to put more down in the second groove of the racetrack than they did on the top, so that it would help the bottom groove a little more. Now the guys went out there, they felt like because the tires are sticking better, because the stuff was sticking, they might be able to run a little softer tire. I think just the opposite. Because it's a faster racetrack, this is the fastest track we've had here at IRP in the last 3 years, and because it's faster, it's going to heat the tires up more, and it's going to make them blister worse. So I think the guys who chose the softer compounds are going to be in big trouble about lap 20 of this race.
Andy Michener gives us a ride right now. He'll start outside the 7th row as we take a look now at the starting lineup. Once again, the first 6 are inverted by virtue of their qualifying run. So Kenny Irwin is the 6th quickest in qualifying. He starts on the pole. Randy Tolsman will start outside in 61. In the 2nd row, we have Tony Stewart in the number 4 car. We talk about Jim Hettinger. There's Jim starting outside the 2nd row. In row 3 on the inside, Mike Bliss. And outside, your fast qualifier with a new track record, Dan Drynan in 33. In the 4th row, Brian Gerster, a heat race winner, and Tice Carlson. Row 5 on the inside, Stan Fox, also a winner of a heat race, and Chuck Leary, who won a heat race. And in the 6th row on the inside, Stevie Reeves and John Murphy. We move now to row 7. On the inside, Kenneth Nichols, the winner of the semi, and Andy Michener with the camera on board in 6M. Then Perry Younts and Chris Schultz occupy row 8. In the 9th row, on the inside, Tracy Hines. Outside, a 7-time USAC Midget champion, Mel Kenyon. Row 10, Randy Cook and Brian Sievers. The 11th row. On the inside, Mike Hurst. Johnny Parsons, as an alternate now, has made the race. We had a couple of scratches, including Norm Young. So, consequently, our old buddy is starting the back-to-back.
Yeah, that car that Mike Bliss is in, that 6th car, is the same car that won on the dirt at Bloomington last night. Also, Ralph Potter, who owns the car, just got out of the hospital. He's here tonight to watch, so we're glad to have him back.
We could have the green this time by. Bill Carey looks them over, sends them on their way, and we are racing as we ride along with Andy Michener down into turn 1. That's how it looks as you're riding into turn 1 on a USAC Midget.
It looks pretty busy from that right there, doesn't it? I'll tell you what, when you're that far back in the back and everybody's dicing and tumbling up there in front of you, it looks real exciting.
The car was handling well because he was not moving that much in the cockpit. As we look back there, your leader now, car number 61. 31.
That's Randy Tolzman. That's the first time. This kid's from Idaho. He came back here, and I told him, man, this is a tough place to come. Just cold turkey and go out there and run very good. Proved me a liar real fast, didn't he?
And you're the expert commentator here as we take a look at Stan Fox in the white 9. He looked to the inside of Chuck Leary in that black 31. Now, we talked earlier about Stan's car not handling all that well this evening, although he did win a heat race. Still working on Leary. His first time back in the midget since long before the Indianapolis 500. He had an embargo. He couldn't run midgets for a while because of his Indy ride.
Well, Stanley's an excellent race car driver. He knows how to run a midget. Look at Bliss. He just went around Tony Stewart, that dark blue car that went right around the light blue car. And that's Hettinger in the yellow car trying to get around Stewart also, but he can't quite pull it off.
Yeah, but look at Bliss. Bliss just went around Irwin. Bliss now being challenged by Irwin in the red and white 7. Bliss in the blue 6. The Potter V6 down the backstretch. And third in that line would be Tony Stewart. And then it's Hettinger. Hettinger looks to the inside.
Hettinger's in, of course, the Autocraft, the Volkswagen type engine, the little lay-down type engine.
New leader.
Always been better on this type of racetrack. But look at Bliss, a V6, the only V6 powered race car in the racetrack, and he just took the lead.
And Tolfa drops to second. Third is Kenny Irwin, who now leads the USAC points. Bryden just went around the 5-car of Hettinger, and he set sail for young Tony Stewart. Stewart rides in 4th. Dryden is now 5th. Dryden was the fast qualifier with that new track record. By virtue of the inverted start, he had to start outside the second row, or this third row, but some of the guys are complaining about this car configuration here. He's got more room for advertising on there, but they're saying that's a spoiler.
Well, I don't think it's real
dynamics.
He put that on there, he says, so that he can get more signage for his sponsors, but I don't think it really helps him that much here. But he's really working that race car. It looks like he gets down on that inside. It gets a little twitchy on him. The race car is very, very fast, but he's got to keep it real straight or it just looks real twitchy for some reason.
Now here goes one of those slide jobs, but he's not going to pull it off this time. Hang on, Tony Stewart. Yeah. Boy, Tony let him go that time. Tony had to let him go.
Yeah, Tony Stewart didn't have much choice. He started sliding around on him, and he had to let him go or he was going to get hit.
As that battle continues for 4th position, that Potter V6 is long gone. We ride with Andy Michener now.
The 5-car Jim Hettinger's pulled in the pits, by the way. He had some trouble with the engine or something. He pulled in on that last lap.
Our 2 camera cars are right together. That's Brian Gerster in the yellow 21 right out in front of Andy Michener. We go back to the head of the pack and look at this. A bump between Tolzman and the 61 car, the blue and white car, and the black and red number 7.
Kenny Irwin's very loose. The 7 car of Kenny Irwin, that black number 7 car, is very loose already in this race. If he's this loose this early, he's going to be in big trouble time the race is over because you can already see that back end sliding around. Tolzman's doing a very good job. He didn't get rattled when Bliss went by him. He's just running that race car as straight and as fast as he can run it. And as long as he does that, he's going to make it very, very difficult on those guys behind him to go around.
He's also getting a great education out here.
Yeah, I tell you what, he learned very quick, a lot quicker than I thought he would, I got to tell you.
Tice Carlson out of the race now. He's behind the pit wall in the 41 car. Oh, hang on, Randy.
There again, it twitched on him a little bit, but he tried to keep it straight. When he did, Irwin tried to go around him, but Irwin's the one that's sliding sideways there.
Oh, he's smoking the right rear in a big way coming off that second corner. And with a bird's eye view is Danny Dryden back there in the white 33. Nose to tail into turn 3, all about the same line. High above that upper white line off the corner.
I think they're all 3 trying to conserve their tires. I think that's what Dryden's doing right now. I think he's dropped back a little bit. So those guys want to fight that hard, let them wear their tires out, and then I'll go by them after I keep my tire a little cooler here during this part of the race.
Well, they may have a race for second, but right now your leader, Mike Bliss, is long gone.
Boy, he's really pulled out those big things.
A couple of 9s there. Sandwiched in between is Leary. That would be a Fox out in front of the front 9. The second 9 would be Stevie Reeves. And oh, a yellow flag. A car hard over into the second corner wall. Several cars involved. Looks like the leader may be involved. We also see the ALA1 car. We were about to say that there's 33.
That's Danny Dryden.
Dryden, Gerster in the yellow 21. Dryden with extensive damage on the left rear. I was about to say that the leader was starting to move in toward traffic.
Boy, oh boy.
Let's see if we can see what happens as we look back at second, third, and fourth. There's Dryden making a move to the inside.
He went way down on the other side. He tried to give that big slide job up to Kenny Irwin, and he just lost it. He just got sideways, and as he did, the smoke got going. he slid right up about half track. It didn't look like he was going to be okay.
Let's ride now and see what happens from the camera mounted on Andy Michener's car. You can see the 21 of Gerster out in front of him.
Okay, that smoke way up front.
Way on down there.
Right, that's where he spinning, but Gerster spins back here.
Gerster got hit
Two
by
or three guys. Oh, the L81 car really nailed him. Kenneth Nichols just got sideways, nailed it. He might have lost an engine. There might have been some fluid. As many guys that spun there might have been some fluid on the racetrack. As you see him go down underneath right here from this view. No, we're not going to get to see it, but there might have been some fluid because there was three cars that all spun almost at the exact same time.
Well, I know that the 21 car got tapped by Michener as they were both on the binders. As you go by the 33 cars, we sorted out all the drivers involved. But Mike Bliss, in fact, was not, and he continues to lead. We have 11 completed laps, some 19 to go from Indianapolis Raceway Park.
After you shave, now there's comfort to the power of 3. It's new Soothing Edge Aftershave with 3 soothing formulas for 3 specific skin types. An aloe formula that's alcohol-free to soothe sensitive skin. Extra moisturizers to soothe if your skin is dry. And a cool vitamin E splash for normal skin. Soothing better than ever with the power of 3. New Edge Aftershave skincare for men. Ultimate comfort. That's the edge.
This is where it happened. The breakthrough in urethane chemistry that created Finish 2001. The car polish so advanced, you use it only once a year. This old car's finish appears destroyed. With no rubbing, no buffing, Finish 2001 safely brings back a shine that lasts an entire year. Nothing but nothing shines or protects better than 100% guaranteed Finish 2001. Finish 2001 is available at these fine stores.
The 93 Jaguar XJ6 at $549 a month. It's a dream come true. See your local Jaguar dealer for details. This offer is for a limited time only.
In America, your car doesn't just get you from here to there. It's a part of your life. To give your car complete protection, Texaco has developed Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. With not one, but 3 kinds of protection against heat stress, starting friction, and engine dirt. Haviland Formula 3. Add more life to your car.
Coming up on SportsCenter, 11:30 Eastern, 2 golfers separated by 1 shot heading into the final round of the Open. A setback for the Cowboy quarterback. Aikman goes under the knife. And the Bulls run to Phoenix for Game 6 tomorrow. SportsCenter, 11:30 Eastern.
Saturday Night Thunder has been brought to you by Jaguar, the spirit of competition and the technology to produce the world's fastest production car. And by Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. Add more life to your car.
And we're down here in the pit area with Danny Dryland, actually inside turn number 2. Danny, from a new track record here at Raceway Park to the Hook, what happened?
Our train Chapman was special, was running really good tonight. The car was a little quicker than I'm used to. Irwin was in front of me. He was working on somebody, didn't give me a clean shot. I kept working him inside, outside. I just tried to make a pass. I don't come here to run second, and I lost it there. And when I spun out, somebody drilled me.
Well, obviously the car was working great. It's a car of your own design. Are you happy with it so far? I mean, obviously a new track record. Anything you can tweak in there to maybe get even more speed out of it?
There's more yet, and we're working up to it. We're finding out a little bit each night we bring it out. I've been very happy with the car, motor combination. Got a guy, Tom Klein, in Phoenix, building our motors now. I think it's fantastic, and I just made a mistake.
Well, good luck to you, Danny. We'll know we'll see great things out of that number 33 car in the future. And we go back now to Dave Despain.
All right, thank you, Dave. And Dan Dryden will have some repair work to do this week. So, too, will this man. Tony Dow of Tom Walkinshaw Racing had the responsibility for preparing the Jaguars that we saw in competition here tonight. You have some repair work to do now. Let's get the bad news out of the way. How bad is it?
It's a lot of superficial body work. In some instances, it looks worse than it really is. So, you know, like anything, take it apart, look at it, and see what we've got to do to fix it. But it's not as bad as you'd immediately think. The cars are pretty good like that.
Several drivers comment on how smooth the cars are and how well they sustained that damage. All in all, a terrific show. We've gone back to green here. We want to pick up the action. Stay with us if you can. I'd like to know more about the Fastmasters and who impressed you tonight. Let's get back to the midget competition.
We are back to green on lap number 12, and once again, Mike Bliss continues to show the way, but Randy Talsma remains impressive.
Randy Talsma looks like he's real fast at this point. He got his tires cooled down, and he's right after Bliss real hard. Wants a shot at him, as a matter of fact, and they're both pulling away a little bit from Kenny Irwin at this point.
That yellow streamer off the back of the cage signifies rookie, but he's certainly not driving like a rookie this season.
He sure as heck's not. I'll tell you what, Mike Bliss doesn't think he's a rookie right now. But right there, he got a little bit sideways. He gets a little bit anxious. He's going to have to do it pretty quick or he's going to get that tire hot and he won't have the chance.
What was that comment about learning how to race fast, then learning how to pass? Right now, he's trying to learn to pass.
Well, yeah, he's a great pavement racer from out in the West Coast. He travels 35,000 miles a year to race. He lives in Idaho, travels to California all the time. So he gets a lot of road miles, but he obviously gets a lot of pavement miles in a race car, too, because he's really got this racetrack dialed in about as fast as anybody I've seen.
The team's two Steve Lewis cars, the white nines, running right together as we take a shot from Andy Michener's number 6. That is Stan Fox on the left. On the right is Stevie Reeves, your defending USAC midget champion. They are running nose to tail on the racetrack.
One of those cars is the coil car. The other car is the 4-bar torsion bar car. At the halfway point, as we pass this time, you can see the cross flags up there. As we look from the cage cam from Andy Michener, we're watching those two number 9 cars.
Well, Stan Fox said earlier that's the car that he drove from the back of the pack to win the Copper Classic at Phoenix earlier this year. Back late winter, did not qualify well, had to go from the back of the pack. The feature went 25 laps green, no yelling run. Yeah, incredible run. One of the best midget drives ever.
Look at this. I think that was Stevie that just went around him, and there goes Andy Michener right behind him. Now Fox is a little upset. He's going to try to go back under him. He just couldn't quite do it.
Fox has that new sponsor he's trying to impress this evening, the Hyatt Regency hotel firm, and right now he just got passed for position. Back to the front of the pack, and looky here, it's still nose to tail. And once again, Talsma takes a look to the inside.
Talsma is getting off of that 4th corner fantastically. He really gained on Bliss that time, getting off that corner. But he just doesn't have enough getting into the corner to make the pass final. Look at him down here in 3 and 4. This is where he's really strong. He gets through into 3 pretty good, and off of 4. Look how strong he is coming off of 4. Right on his bumper there coming off of 4. But he just can't quite do anything with him after he catches him.
At this racetrack, it is very difficult to get hand signals from the pit to the crew, so obviously he has to hear somebody back there. And hey, this is reminiscent of the night before the 500.
Exactly. You know what happened that night, Kenny? Finally got frustrated trying to pass he couldn't make. But look at Talsma right here. Look, this is a very good shot he did. Bliss dropped down on the racetrack. He dropped a little lower. Oh, man, just couldn't
Bliss
quite
has
pull
the
off.
momentum in the higher lane. They almost got together coming off, too.
He's really operating in 3 and 4. 3 and 4 corners here are flatter than our 1 and 2. Oh, there he clipped him. He clipped him that time and almost caught the fence himself. Wow. That hurt a little bit because he's got 4 or 5 car legs to catch up now.
10 laps to go. A straightaway, though, before we go back and pick up 3rd position. Leary runs in 3rd. Leary is up to 3rd now. 4th is Kenny Irwin.
Yeah, Leary's gained a lot of position since the last time we saw him on the racetrack.
Look at Reeves. Look at Reeves. Yeah, that's Stevie Reeves in the 1 Steve Lewis car. Looks to the inside of Kenny Irwin as we ride along with Andy Michener.
Look how twitchy those cars are coming off of 4th. 4th corner is the flattest race on the racetrack as Reeves pulls it off. And look at Parsons.
Parsons from the back of the pack.
He's clear down to the inside. Oops.
He's up to 8th right now.
3 abreast. We've seen that several times and it hardly ever works. And it didn't work that time.
Look at Parsons, 3 abreast in turn 3, and he has to hang on and feather the throttle. Oh, I'm not sure if that was experience or just guts.
Don't anybody tell Parsons I said you couldn't win this thing from the back of the pack tonight because he don't believe it. Let me tell you.
He's trying. He was not a happy camper when he failed to make the feature. He came in as an alternate, had to start at the back of the pack, and he's up to 8th or 9th right now. He's working. Well, now he's got Kenyon there in the yellow 3 cars. A battle back at the front of the pack. They just complete lap number 23.
Boy, Bliss is doing a good job. He pulled down on Talsma that time to block him, but Talsma's definitely got the fastest race car. Right here, he's going to do it. Can he drive it? Nope, he can't drive it in deep enough.
They get together, third place is going to win this race.
That's right. Bliss has moved way down on the racetrack to block. Oh, look how bad he's pushed the front end. That's the problem. And right there he went by him. He pushed the front end real bad right there.
Goes back around.
But he pushed...
Larry, oh, look at this. Larry Wright up there.
Slip and slide different time. We see this again, man.
Chuck Larry's going to win this thing because these two guys are going to take each other out.
Look at this. Right up to the top. Look, he's going to dive right back under him because he pushes the front end.
This looks like one of our exhibition races that we're staging, but this is not staged.
Oh, listen at the crowd. They're jumping
on their collective feet. We can hear them screaming inside the remote booth. And now maybe something has gone away on car number 6 because Bliss drops back and Talsma is going to end up winning this.
I think Bliss just worked the right front of that car so hard. Look at this. Here goes Stevie Reeves.
Battle for third. Stevie Reeves wanted to get that points lead back. He lost it last night at Bloomington. When he lost an engine, they had to pull this car out of the barn to run this evening. And he is working all over the rear of Chuck Leary.
And that's Chuck Leary's best drive. This is the first time I've seen him run this racetrack and really go as fast as he is tonight. He's doing a great job. But it looks like Stevie's... Yep, Stevie's got a shot on him. He's going to take the racetrack away. He's gone.
27 laps are now completed. The guy from Idaho, an unlikely state to be from if you like racing, but he looks like he's going to pick up the victory this evening, Randy Talsma.
And he looks like he really likes racing tonight.
Oh, boy. It's tough to call a race and hold your breath at the same time.
He did a fantastic job. Look at Andy Mitchell, though. He's working on Chuck Leary real hard.
The battle for fourth.
And we see Kenny Irwin. He just pulled in the pits. He's done for the night. He fell way, way back. He had all kinds of trouble.
So Irwin will then relinquish the points lead that he just picked up last night. I think we'll go back to Stevie Reeves, the defending midget champion. The white flag will be displayed this time. There's a battle for position down the backstretch. There is your leader. Talsma takes the white flag, and he's got to be grinning right now.
Man, he's pulled out almost a straightaway length lead. What a fantastic race that kid has run. He came back here. Most guys that do that don't have a chance in heck of ever making a race and winning it, and he's really done a fantastic job.
What a night of motorsports we have had from Indianapolis Raceway Park, and there is the checkered flag as he wins for the first time here at IRP, and there's an ecstatic guy in the cockpit. We'll come back and we'll take a look at that unbelievable lead change. But right now, we have to pay some bills. We'll take this break and come back with more from Indianapolis Raceway Park for all you Thunderheads.
In Jurassic Park, there's only one place to go to satisfy a Tyrannosaurus-sized hunger: McDonald's. Where now, something big is happening to your favorite extra value meal. What is it? Dino-sizing. For just a little more, dino-size your extra value meal with dino-size fries and a large drink in a free Jurassic Park collector cup. Dino-sizing. A value of enormous proportions, because what you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
I should have brought a bigger truck.
At first, we were going to use a lot of glamorous professional models to advertise our cars. Then we considered the famous basketball player. What's his name with the shoes? We also looked at expensive special effects, catchy jingles, and snappy slogans. Then we had the big idea. Why not just show all the cars and mention things like smooth ride and fully equipped comfort, and leave the gimmicks to the other guys. Okay, so we used one glamorous professional model. All this and the quality of the Mercury.
La 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 la.
Why is it always the same old story? Why ask why? Try a less filling beer with a lot more taste. Bud Dry. When it comes to a great beer, we wrote the book.
Congratulations.
Back live at Indianapolis Raceway Park, Larry Rice, if a picture is indeed worth 1,000 words, we can just shut up and watch this.
I tell you what, there must have been 8 passes in 2 laps, and look at this, inside, outside, underneath, upside, downside.
No, they weren't upside down. This is Talsma in the white 61, and there is Bliss in the blue 6.
Every time Bliss would go under him, he'd slide up and push the front end, and Talsma would go back under him. It was a fantastic matchup there for at least 2 laps around this racetrack. Oh, man, what a race.
And then all of a sudden something happens, and the win goes to Talsma. And let's go trackside. Dave Despain.
I will tell you this, Randy Talsma impressed me tonight. An incredible victory over Mike Bliss, Reeves, Michener, and Leary rounding out the top 5. Stan Foxmel, Kenyon, Johnny Parsons came from the back for 8th. Gerster and Hines rounding out the top 10. And so as the midget feature is history here, I have one more quick question. Tony Dow's job of fixing race cars tonight is all part of the racing business. He's done a lot of that. That's part of his job. A more important part, and I think more enjoyable part of your job, is evaluating the performance of drivers. We throw some of America's best at you this weekend. Who impressed you?
Obviously, Ed McCulloch, fantastic for someone that goes down the straight so much. He figured it all out. And Bobby Allison, absolutely fantastic. Really controlled, smooth, polished performance. I mean, I guess what would I expect, but absolutely superb.
It was a thrilling night. I thank you very much for bringing us a wonderful car in which to showcase these great drivers. Fastmasters is history, but we're still going to meet this youngster who has just won the midget feature.
Question: how can you equip your new Newman Chevrolet car or truck with the extra options you want, like a rear step bumper, bed liner, or sunroof at no additional cost? Answer: Chevy Bucks. Yes, come into Newman Chevrolet Geo, pick out a select new 93 car or truck, and get 300 Newman Chevrolet Bucks to put towards the extra options you want. That's right, 300 Newman Chevy Bucks for the extra options you want. What a great idea. Only at Newman Chevrolet Geo, your first price, best price dealer on Connecticut Boulevard, East Hartford.
Domino's presents...
New Domino's Roll!
Piled high with mouth-watering meats and cheeses on our fresh-baked rolls. And only Domino's delivers subs in 30 minutes or less guaranteed. Try them now and also get...
Something for nothing!
That's really something.
You call Domino's!
There's always something for nothing from Domino's. Call today to see what's free. Locations in Manchester, Newington, and South Windsor.
I don't need some fancy aftershave to tell me I'm a man. And I don't need some expensive cologne to make time with the ladies. I use Skin Bracer. It smells great. It also cools my skin, tones it up, and takes care of it after a good close shave. I don't need anything more. Confidence is very sexy, don't you think?
Skin Bracer Aftershave, more than a great scent.
By men. Why use Valvoline Motor Oil? For their race cars and their own cars, Valvoline is the #1